really made.
FYF Sports, man. We back. We're gonna just tag on to what we ended on yesterday. I thought it was a very interesting conversation. What we were talking about yesterday, Eastern Conference, potentially getting better, and I would say, in my opinion, better than the Western Conference. And so when I saw the championship odds come out this year, I mean, as Vegas has them, the first thing I saw was, that it's loaded with Eastern Conference teams. We're going to break that down with you guys today. I think you guys would be surprised when I saw this list. I was a little surprised. In this list, we got the Lakers. That's as the overall favorite to win it all. We got the Clippers in there as well. But then we got a haul of Eastern Conference teams. We got the Nets, the Bucks, the Sixers, the Celtics, and the Heat. That finishes out the top 7. So 5 of the top 7 teams that are favored to win the championship next year are all in the Eastern Conference. They're all in the Eastern Conference. It's crazy, man. Crazy. That's what I say. And I was one of the ones that thought that the Eastern Conference was more loaded from 5 through 10. Now when I look at where these teams fall in the Vegas odds, I guess the Bucks did get a lot better. According to Vegas, the Sixers got a lot better. According to Vegas, so did the Celtics. Surprisingly, Celtics is a higher favorite than the Miami Heat to win it all. That's surprising, and I felt like the Heat got better. All right, now after the Miami Heat, when you're talking about after that 7th position, you got Dallas, Denver, and the Golden State Warriors, which I think that's pretty low for the Golden State Warriors. But I think that may change once we see them play. That could potentially change. I'm going to wait till we get about 100 people in the chat. Once we get about 100 people in the chat, I'm going to drop this link. And then also, I want y'all. I need to know ahead of time. Now, I need to know where are all my FanDuel players, because now that we're going live, we're going to be doing our FanDuel lineups live. I want you guys to see how I select at least one of my FanDuel lineups. I can't give you all the secrets, but we can go through one of the lineups, and we can break that down. And when I drop this link, man, if you have not been in the live panel, Do not be shy. Hit this link to join the live panel. Do not be shy. Hit the link to join the live panel. Here, I'm going to go ahead and drop this link now. Stan Marshall, he talking about the Rams defense. We're going to talk about football a little later. Right now, we got to talk about these NBA teams and why there are so many. There are a lot of teams. There are a lot of Eastern Conference teams in that top 7. So I think we were going the wrong direction. So yesterday we were talking about the top players in the league being in most of the top players in the league being in the West. Well, I think we have to look to the top teams in the league. The top teams in the league are in the East. Some of the better players are in the West, but the better teams are in the East right now. All right, so hold on, man. Who is new in the chat, man? Hey, Double E down there, EE, I want to see you hop in. Jermaine McCreary, you can hop in. I need some new faces, man. Jason Cross, I think you might have been in the panel before. Can't remember. But you guys will email me after the stream is over saying that you want to get on the live panel. I'm giving you the opportunity now. So, again, if you're new, I'm going to give you first dibs to get into the live panel. But I'm going to go ahead and drop the link for you guys. If you are new, I'm going to give you first dibs. If I haven't seen your name before, I'm going to be allowing you in first, so we can hear from you. And make sure you guys check out the pinned comment in the comment section. All right, so we're going to be doing we got a Christmas Day giveaway. And so you want to make sure you check out the pinned comment to see how you can get your entries into that giveaway. It's very simple. We'll be talking about that as we end the show today. Let's get this link in there. All right, link is in the chat, y'all. Link is in the chat. We're going to be talking about NBA season preview. We got to look at these title favorites. All right. And then what I really want to know is, with these title favorites, which one of these title contenders are on that fringe of just one injury away of not having any chance at all to win it all? I think the Lakers got a little wiggle room. Being so deep, they're not going to have to play LeBron and AD so much. I think they're going to be fine. I think the Clippers, man, for me, the Clippers are just one injury away. The Clippers are one injury away. The link is not working. Maybe I didn't copy it right. I'm sorry. All right, hold on. All right, let's see if that works. The link is in the chat, y'all. Link is in the chat. Let me know if that works. Yeah, I even think Portland might surprise some. Yeah, Portland could surprise people, but the problem with Portland is they're always going to be good. They're always going to have, as long as they're healthy, they're going to have solid. They're going to be solid in the regular season. They don't have a team that can win in the playoffs, especially when you go up against the heavy hitters. I mean, Portland can beat the Dallases. They can beat the Denvers, maybe even a team like Phoenix, maybe. But when you go up against the heavy hitters, they always get destroyed. And that's just my team. That's just facts. That's because that defensive backcourt rate that they have, it always comes back to haunt them. That backcourt of Dame and CJ will get you to the conference finals. But when you're playing against the elite teams, that backcourt is going to kill you because those teams know how to lock up. And once they take away them options, you are done. Hold on, let me let you guys in here. I'm gonna let you guys in. Salute to everybody in the panel. And then today, man, what y'all got on these title favorites, man? Top 7 is mostly East teams.
Man, fuck Vegas and the fucking stats, bro. Vegas is about money. I don't look into Vegas is about making money, bro. Look at shit Vegas be talking about.
I told y'all. What up, first and foremost, what up, everybody? Salute. I told y'all. See,
You
this is
ain't
why.
said shit.
This is why. This is why I'm
Hold
an
up. Hey, what
expert
was
in
the
this shit,
Vegas
man.
odds last year?
It don't matter. We talking about now. See, that's when you
Fuck outta
deflecting.
here.
You deflecting. See, I
Man,
said
Vegas
next
about
year
making money,
we're
bro.
gonna be. Listen, man. Listen, hey, I know what I'm talking
Listen,
about, man.
you don't know
I know
about
what I'm
shit.
talking about, man. I need to work for Vegas odds then, man, because I know what I'm talking about. See,
Go,
I
yeah, go
said
ahead and
it's
work for him.
better
True.
because
True. Them odds is capped, dog.
that's
Trash.
cool. That's cool. It's capped now. It wasn't
Hold
capped
on, hold
any
on,
other
hold on.
time.
Hold
And
on.
I'm gonna tell you
Bees. Why
why.
do you say the odds is capped? Why do you
I'm
say
gonna
that?
tell you why. The Lakers, because hey, I'm a gambler. That's what I do with sports betting.
Yeah, I do
The
it too a
Lake,
little
I
bit.
need to get into
the
that shit, boy.
Lakers are such heavy favorites. The odds of any team coming out of the West, other than the Clippers, are very low. When you go to the East, you don't know who's coming out of the East. Therefore, several of those teams' odds are better. It doesn't mean the better teams are in the East. You got to look at the road through.
I
That's how they
mean,
set those
right,
odds.
but here's the thing, though, right? But here's the thing. But if it's so many East teams, but why? So basically, there's East teams, but it's also showing that it's East teams that has more of a bigger possibility to beat the West than beat the Lakers.
Oh
No,
Lord.
that's not what
It
it's
does.
saying.
It does
They're,
what it
they're,
says to
they're,
me.
they look, ain't nobody even money or negative but the Lakers. Every other team is plus. Normally, you'll have one team that's negative and a couple teams that are right at even. They telling
So
me the Lakers are by far superior.
I mean, we all know that because they're the favorites. But that's what's also showing that the Western Conference it got weaker. That's also is showing
No,
that also. That's what it
no, it
does.
true. If I say that, let's take the Milwaukee Bucks for example. You got to remember this is about money. Vegas is about making money.
That's
If
facts.
if you give if you give let's say let's just Denver, right? Better odds at beating the Lakers, you and that happens, you're gonna lose way more money. But nobody's gonna bet Denver. So you gotta sweeten the pot to get people to bet on Denver by offering more money. No one's going to bet Denver to win the championship when the Lakers have what they have. So you got to make Denver a plus 1,200, a plus 1,400 to get me to even bet on them.
So,
All right, so if the betting odds, so this is what we're gonna do then. If the betting odds are skewed towards what you just said, then maybe we should just look at the power rankings, right?
That's what you should look at.
Okay, so we look at the power rankings. I got them right here. So we got number 1, we got the Lakers.
Well,
Number 2, we got the Bucks.
okay.
3, we got the Clippers. So that's 2 West, 1
One
East.
East.
We got Miami at 4.
We got the Knicks at 5.
No, we got the Nets. Nets are at 5.
Okay.
So now, all right. We
You
got
got 3 to 2.
Boston at 6.
that's 4
Okay.
2.
The Raptors at 7.
Wow, I think
That's
that's
cap.
cap.
That's
Hold
cap.
on. See,
That
this
is
is
cap. Hell
hold on.
no,
This is what we
that's
can't do
cap.
though. Let them finish. This is
Hold
what we
on.
can't
I'm
do.
just telling you the
Go
power
ahead.
You
rankings.
can't do that.
No,
You
go
see,
ahead,
you
LeBron.
can't.
Power
Hold
The
on.
rankings.
power
That's
rankings.
cap.
It was
Hold
come
on.
on,
Here
man.
they got Utah at 8,
Cap. But
Denver
go
at
ahead.
9,
Do you believe that shit yourself, Lamont?
Dallas at 10. No, I'm just
Cap,
hold on.
bro.
I'm
Come
just
on,
giving you the
man.
power rankings. I'm
No,
not here.
and that's better. I mean, that's
I'm
better.
not here to. I can't say I don't like the list. I mean, we just going by a different standard.
No,
So
no, you
you know
can't.
what I'm saying?
That's the list they got. That's the list they got. I say Boston has a better chance of going to the finals than
Oh,
Denver.
hell no.
Yeah, they do. That's fact.
I'll tell you
Boston
this
has a
though.
better chance of going to the finals than Denver. If
I'll tell you
LeBron
this
go
though.
down,
Yeah,
That's true. That's true.
if LeBron
that's
go
a fact.
down or Kawhi go down, or let's say both of them go down, you'll watch those odds flip real fast.
I mean, of course that happened, but it's
So you
like,
saying Boston going to the final because you hoping that certain guys go down, right?
no, he ain't saying that at
No,
all.
that's
He
not
just
what I'm
said,
saying, Lou. I'm saying when Lamont read off the power rankings, I personally don't know if Boston's better than Denver. They're about the same to me. So those teams are about the same, but we do know Denver got to beat the Lakers. Boston got to beat the Milwaukee and the Nets. And we've already seen that Milwaukee ain't necessarily that team in the playoffs. And we don't know what the Nets are. So you got to give Boston a better shot to make the finals.
All right. That was NBC. That was NBC Sports. That was NBC Sports Power Rankings. I want to go over to ESPN's.
I'm just saying, I remember in the past history, Milwaukee putting out Boston in the playoffs.
Okay,
don't go over 1 year.
ESPN starts theirs off.
It's been more than one time.
Dick right.
It's been more than one game. Come on now.
All right, hold on. We're gonna look at ESPN's power ranking. They got the Lakers at 1, Clippers at 2, Bucks at 3. Everybody's high on Denver. They got Denver at 4.
There you go.
Dallas 5.
There we go. Now
Golden State 6.
Now you're talking.
Boston 7. Philly 8. Miami 9. Brooklyn
Now
10. Toronto 11. And then they got Houston at 12.
Yeah, gonna have Brooklyn at 10.
But every time, that list not.
10 though.
But every time that's not that list ain't.
Hold up, am I missing something with Toronto, bro?
I told you about Toronto, but y'all ain't gonna listen to me though, man. Like I said, listen, man, don't be surprised. Toronto ain't no listen. If OG Anunoby can improve and have a breakout year, they're gonna be tough to beat, man. Chris Boucher,
He can't score, True.
he may get better this year. We don't know.
May.
He got.
You're saying that ranking says he's already better.
I mean, he's been improving every year, though. You gotta give him that. So I'm just saying they gonna be like.
Hey, with that ranking though, that must mean they don't believe in Brooklyn at all, bro.
Well, I'm saying right there.
They got the Nets that low.
Really? Come on, man.
They must don't believe in the Nets at all, dog.
Man, that's ESPN list. What the NBA.com got?
Hold on, let me go left. That's it. I mean, again,
wait,
hey, you got to think. I mean, I think it might be something to that Denver team. I think we are overlooking them.
Did you?
Hold after last night, nigga, you the same nigga that said Boston to beat them. No,
I said. I didn't say they will. I said they can. Like if they went head to head right now in a 7-game series, I would pick.
That's a tough series, man. That's a 7-game series. That's a 7-game series, man. That's a 7-game series.
I don't think Mike Malone can outcoach Brad Stevens.
It's a 7-game series. What are y'all talking about? And they got. I don't listen. The reason why they was ranked that high because what Jamal Murray and Jokic did last year in the playoffs, in my opinion.
Well, they beat a better team. They beat the Clippers.
Hey, true. Who's to say Jamal Murray and Jokic don't take another step?
Exactly.
I'm okay, but it's a team game, though. You can't do it all by themselves.
But it's a better team in Boston right now.
That's not necessarily true. You don't know that. They lost two. They lost Craig and they lost Grant. Well, Craig on Milwaukee. Ain't Craig on Milwaukee?
If Michael Porter Jr. come out of his shell, bro, them niggas gonna be hard to stop.
Yeah, but we got him. Is he gonna have he been working on his defense? Because he played against Boston. Because he played against Boston, he's gonna get exploited.
Oh, you think so?
I know so.
Hey, panel. Okay. Did you guys see ESPN's top 100 players ranking? It was absolutely crazy.
They got Luka. They got Luka over KD.
I don't want to talk about that right now. That ranking is crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That ranking is
now,
silly.
ESPN be doing that for clickbait though, man. ESPN be doing that for clickbait now, man. They don't like. They've been trolling for years now, man.
Hey, Lamont.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Hey, I got a question for you, man.
Good.
How does a nigga who scored 10 points in a game 7 and hit the side of the backboard get $220 million?
Sometimes y'all overpay people.
Hold on.
Sometimes y'all overpay people.
Hold on. I'll answer.
I can answer that for you.
Hold on, Anti. Hold on. All right. I mean, it's just like
let me say the question again. 10 points in a game 7 and hit the side of the backboard gets you $220 million.
Yeah.
You know why?
No, the answer is because you don't judge a player off of one playoff series.
Hey,
more
than
that.
Hold on. At the end of the day, like we was talking about yesterday, at the end of the day, you can cry about one missed shot, but he's still a top 10 player in the NBA. and you're not going to get a better replacement for him. You can get mad. You can get mad and say you want to trade him. But at the end of the day, who you going to trade him for? That's comparable.
Because he lost his value. Because his value ain't going to be the same.
Hey, hold on. Let me piggyback off Lamont. And you got to look at it, bro. They salvaged their whole future for that man, dog. They had no choice but to try to sign him to a max extension.
Right, and plus,
their whole future for that man.
Yeah, and plus,
what I'm saying is they should have re-signed him. They should have re-signed him. But what I'm saying is they traded for him, so they got his bird rights. There was no need to max him out. Nobody else can max him.
I'm gonna tell you why they did it. You know why they did it, but you know why they did that though? To show loyalty to their players, so they can attract.
No, what it is there's so much uncertainty for players and teams. So for the teams, it's valuable to sign long term now, because if a vaccine comes out and this pandemic stuff goes away, sports is going to come back bigger and stronger than before, and these teams are going to be making way more money, right? And so essentially, if the COVID goes away and we can fill up stadiums again, they're going to be getting underpaid, and now they're like, but for the players, they have to look at it like, look at the uncertainty. We don't know if fans are coming back. We don't know if this money's going to be the same in 2-3 years. We might as well lock in long term, get this guaranteed money until we see what's going on with COVID. And so I think it's a win-win for both sides.
Let me ask y'all something.
But
look, hold on. You see how Russell Westbrook and Chris Paul contract is like horrible, like John Wall? That's what I feel like Gordon Hayward and Paul George's contract is going to be. These niggas signed 5-year deals, bro.
No,
they probably got
hold on.
At the time, Chris Paul, when he signed this deal, he was a top player. As for
that's what I'm saying.
Wall,
that's what I'm saying. So they
account. Listen. Paying him for what they did for that organization, bro. A lot of players get overpaid, my nigga.
Sometimes you got overpaid. Sometimes you got
overpaid.
Paul George is not getting
overpaid. Did shit for the Clippers. Paul George ain't did shit for the Clippers. What is you talking
David,
David, off his potential, bro.
Hold on, David. They don't pay you for what you do. Like a lot of times, like they pay you for what you can do. Like, and at the end of the day, if you don't pay him and he leaves, then where
got
you
nothing. Exactly.
Let's say you don't pay him and he leaves as a free agent. Where are you at now?
Right, and you ain't got no.
So that's a steal, and that's a steal because he could have got more money than that. Possibly. So that's a steal.
He couldn't have got more money than what the Clippers got.
Hold on. And I know a lot of
$220 million is a steal for Paul George.
Hold up, I know a lot of y'all are down on Paul George, bro. Paul George is still one of the top 10 players in the NBA, and you forget he plays defense.
That's cap.
He's a two-way player, bro.
That's cap.
What do you mean?
He not top 10.
It don't matter if he ain't top 10 or not. It doesn't matter. He's not top 10 or not. I'd have done the same thing. I'm not even a Paul George fan. I'd have just paid him. I'd do the same.
Hold on, let David go. Just let David go. Go ahead, David.
So no, I get it though. Like you gotta play him. Like I'm from Milwaukee, so I understand paying a player. Like the situation we in. But listen to what I'm saying, bro. This is my thing. You saying he top 10 and all that? I can name 10 players better, but that's neither here nor there.
Hold on, no. Hold on, David.
I tried this shit last night, bro.
David, please name 10 players better than Paul George.
We tried this shit last night and you couldn't. And
I did though.
Okay, when you do this, be real.
I'm finna do it.
Hold on, don't be a fan. Hold
on, go ahead. Hold on, Anti, you gotta let him run his list off. Go ahead.
I want him to, but don't be a fanboy.
Hold on. I don't care if he is. David, go ahead with your list.
I'm not a fanboy. The nigga had 10 points in game 7.
You talking about one?
Hold on. Just run off your list, David.
You can't use that.
Sir.
You can't just use that.
Would you take LeBron over Paul George?
Yeah.
Obvious.
Okay, that's one. Would you take Anthony Davis?
Obvious.
Would you take Kevin Durant?
Obvious.
Yeah.
That's 3. Would you take Kawhi Leonard? That's 4.
Obvious.
Okay. All right. So we got 4. We need 6 more. Would you take Stephen Curry?
Obvious.
Yeah.
Before the injury, would you take Klay Thompson?
No.
Hold on.
Anti. We got to base it on right now.
I'm listening.
You got to base it on now because
all right. So let's throw Klay out. Would you take James Harden over Paul George?
Yep.
Yes. Go ahead.
Hold on. Depends
That's
on my
5.
team.
All right.
Just,
Don't do that.
Hold on. Nah, give him that. That's 5.
That's 5.
Nah, give him that. That's 5. You got 5 more.
That's 5. All right. Are you ready? Would you take Giannis?
Yeah. 6.
yeah.
That's 6. Like I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. That's
Hold
6.
on,
Let's go to 7. Right now. Would you take Jason Tatum?
No.
Yes, I would. You
No.
keep on going. Keep cooking. Keep
Oh,
cooking.
Paul
Let the man
George.
talk. Let him talk. Let him talk.
Yeah,
Let him cook.
Hey, I know
Let him
True.
cook.
I know True. I'm cooking these niggas. That's 8. That's 8,
Come on,
nigga.
David.
He not
Hold on.
nigga.
Hold on,
You got 2 more.
David. Hold on. David. Jason
Can I
Tatum
get my
is
other
not.
2 off?
He's
Yeah,
not a
let me get his
top
other
10
2.
player
Let
in
me
the
get his other
NBA.
2 out. Let me get
Hold
his
on.
other 2 out,
What?
please.
You act like Paul George won a whole champ. Y'all be acting like Paul George won a championship. Man.
Shut up, True. Hold on.
Let David
Go
finish.
ahead,
Go ahead, David.
Go ahead, David.
Nikola Jokic, number 9.
Yeah.
He's better than Paul George right now.
Yeah, I give you that. I'll give you that.
But hold up. You
Okay.
telling me Jokic?
Hold on.
Okay.
Let him
You
finish.
ready?
David,
You ready?
David
cooking.
Okay, go ahead. You got
He
one more.
better.
Okay, one more.
Joel Embiid, nigga.
No.
That's iffy.
He's way better.
Did you say Curry? Did you say
No.
Curry?
Yeah, he said
David
Curry.
I said
cooking right
Embiid.
now.
I'm not taking Joel Embiid over no fucking Paul
I take
George.
Dame.
No.
I would play with B with Dame. I'll play with B with Dame.
Okay.
You got
Okay.
some.
Hey,
Okay. Let's take
Dame in my top 10. But you hold up.
Okay.
You
So
got
Dame.
Jokic.
So let's put Dame in
that's
there
your
instead
10.
of Embiid.
Nah.
How was Paul George top 10?
Nigga, because
That's a great list. That's a great. That's a great list, man. I don't listen. He cooked. Listen, man.
Hey, True. I just fried these niggas, True.
All right, hold on. Answer this question.
Shit.
Hold on. Anti. How I'm crazy what I'm saying, right? Because we can have a different opinion all you want. That's fine. If you feel
Tatum not even
that's
the
fine.
best player on his fucking team.
That's
out my
cap,
face.
dude. That's cap. That's your opinion. That's cool.
Oh, and
Reggie Miller, that's
Jason
cool.
All right, hold on. I got
Paul, y'all
Lamar.
make it say.
Let's take Jason Tatum out.
Hold up.
Let's take Jason Tatum out. Let's take Jason Tatum out. Put Bradley Beal in there. He better than
Paul
Paul
George is
George.
better. Hold on. Let's slow down. Bradley Beal.
He averaged 30 last year, nigga.
Hold on. But Paul George has averaged close to 30 before. Especially when you put him. Hold on. Especially when you put him on a bad team and there's no one else around him. So what I'm saying is with Paul George, what separates him and Bradley Beal is probably going to be the defense. So that's what elevates Paul George over Bradley. But Bradley's still a great player. But when you're comparing Paul George to Jason Tatum, I just don't know what you're seeing on the court.
Yeah, you
because again, if you look at their
for longevity.
That's all you got to.
Hold on,
David,
hold on, y'all. Hold on. When you compare the two players, Paul George literally does everything on the court better than Jason Tatum. Everything. Points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, everything. And his percentages are about equal and everything.
Hold up, though.
Hey, Lamont.
That's not necessarily true, though.
Hey, Lamont. Brothers calling me a fanboy. I never said I was a fan of anybody, but let me say this.
I like your list. I like your list. It's not a bad list.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let me stay facts though. This is my thing with Paul George. All I'm saying is, if you telling me Paul George gonna lead you, or he gonna be the second piece on the championship team, okay, you could justify maxing the nigga out. I just trying to wrap my head around it. Like, damn, they really just maxed this nigga out coming off of a horrible. Like, I don't understand that.
But you have to, David. Right now, that was a move based on the uncertainty of the NBA. You gotta lock in your players now, because what's gonna happen is if this COVID thing goes away and you got a whole bunch of free agents on your roster and the value of the money that these players can make increases because COVID's gone and everybody wants to get back to these games. Now you're going to handicap yourself. It'd be better now if you're forecasting what's going to go on with COVID. Everybody's talking about this vaccine that's probably going to come out next year. If that happens, we're going to be filling up stadiums sooner than later. If that happens, the value, the money, all of the salary caps, that's going to go up. which means the money players make is also going to go up. And if you don't have your players locked in, you're going to be paying a boatload just to try to keep them. So again, they're just forecasting a way to keep a highly.
And they just.
That's all. It looks like a humongous contract now,
too.
But it's not as big as what you think is going to be, especially if this virus, especially if they come out with a vaccine and they can fill up stadiums in the next year or two. It's not going to be that bad.
Yeah, I get it, but like the upcoming free agency pool for next year, like I just didn't see the logic behind it. You know what I mean? But I get it. I get it. You gave away all that, so you gotta keep them. You know what I mean?
David,
so they kind of was in a lose. They was in a lose situation.
David, I got a question for you.
Yeah, what's going on?
What if they gave Paul George the Supermax because they're gonna work out a deal for James Harden so the money works?
They're not doing that, man.
That's the dumbest thing. That would be the dumbest thing in the world.
You can't sign a player and then trade him
like
that, unless you trade him at the end of the season or something. But.
No, I was.
There's Lamont. There's like they gotta wait a full. I think they gotta wait like a full something.
It's like it's a grace period. You have to wait. Yeah. So unless you work out a sign and trade.
Because that's a sign and trade. What he talking about?
Yeah,
but you can't sign nobody to a max.
No. What I was saying is, I wasn't saying that the Clippers were going to do that. I asked you a question. I said if they gave him that contract and traded him for James Harden later in the season, would that be stupid?
No.
For Houston.
No, necessarily wouldn't. I mean, to be honest with you, you got Paul George.
Why the fuck would Houston take Paul George?
Here's the thing: Paul George be back being a number one guy again, so he wouldn't be mad being in Houston.
Why do y'all think teams want James Harden? Like nobody wants James Harden.
I would say after seeing how he been acting, I wouldn't want that nigga on my squad.
I'm just talking theoretically though. I'm just talking.
Hey, Lamont.
Yeah.
Lamont, I know why. Hold on. I know why teams aren't lining up for James Harden. Here's why. I'm gonna break this down really quickly. There's a reason why James Harden has to give a list to pick his team because they understand if I give Houston a boatload of draft picks and this fucker leaves in 2 years, I'm screwed. So I have to have insurance that he really wants to be here. So that's why he told them Brooklyn, Philly, Milwaukee, and Miami. Anybody else that try to come give up a bunch of first rounders, you're losing me in 2 years.
Right,
so nobody else outside of those four. Nobody outside of those 4 teams is about to lobby up for first round draft picks.
But David,
he gonna stay with
Houston. Hold on. Right, that's what I'm saying. Either Houston gonna keep them or they gonna get fucked by those other 4 teams. Like I really think it's gonna be Philly that fucks them. I really think because they got to get rid of them. Like there's no way you can keep them.
No, they can't.
It's just not gonna happen.
Nobody.
You know what I mean?
The only team. I'm telling y'all what I've been hearing.
I don't think Miami want him, and I don't think Brooklyn want him.
Hold on. You got to think about it like this. First of all, training camp has already started for most of these teams.
Go ahead, Lamont.
Yeah.
Now to make a massive trade, which if you trade for James Harden, it's a blockbuster trade. You're going to have to change everything with your team. Your playbook, how you play, everything that you've been doing in training camp is now in the trash can. So what team is about to trash everything that they've been doing all up to now just to trade for James Harden, who I consider he's a distressed asset, which the way he's been acting, running around to all these parties, no mask. Now he has to go through all these COVID tests. We don't even know when he can get back on the court. So even if you trade for him, you still might not have him on the court for another 2-3 weeks. Who knows how long because of all the silly stuff he's been doing. So you got to look at all of that.
Philly, the only one that makes sense because we already seen.
Daryl Morey already said he's not trading for. He's not giving up. Ben Simmons
listen, we don't know what team. Listen, be honest with you, if somebody do trade for like James Harden, it's gonna be like a desperate team.
No, it's the Chicago Bulls. I'm gonna tell you right now, the only team that's really having serious talks right now with Rockets are the Chicago Bulls. Because they got the star and they got the young talent. They can fulfill all of the needs that the Rockets are asking for. With Zach LaVine, they can give up a young player with Kobe White as well. and they got draft picks they can give up. They can fulfill all three to get them, and they will.
But the question is, do he want to be there? The question is, do he want to be there, or you gonna be in the same?
It don't matter. It don't matter because at least they still got him for 2 years.
Yeah, Chicago needs somebody like James Harden anyway, man.
They got him for 2 years, so whether he wants to be there or not, he's there.
Chicago irrelevant, man.
So if you in Chicago, you would give up all those young assets plus draft picks.
I'm just telling you, we know the Bulls is not a very smart organization.
You ain't doing with it anyway. You ain't doing with them nothing with it anyway. You know what I mean?
No, I yeah, you're right. But that's what happened with OKC when they got Paul George from Indiana. They thought that shit was gonna ride, and he bounced. Like it don't always work out. That's a bad
example, though. That's a bad example because OKC know how to develop talent. So it's like it is. I mean, they got picks now.
Hey, at this point in time, the Rockets are gonna, if they can move him and get something really good. If I can get Zach LaVine, Kobe White, and draft picks, I'm doing that deal.
Well, Wendell Carter. He put maybe Laurie Market.
But again, compare that with John Wall. I don't know. That's not.
Hey, Lamont, where did they have Houston on those odds?
Most of them had Houston around like 10, like between 10 and like 13.
Yeah, so they ain't trading him.
Because hold on, here's NBA.com power rankings. Hold on, let me see if they even got it.
You heard Harden has to test positive 6 straight. I mean, he has to test negative 6 straight times for him to be able to play again.
Why you got to test negative 6 straight times?
He been out in the mix, man.
That's their procedure.
No, because you got to think of look. They got to when the training camp started, the players are getting tested every other day. So he got to make up for all of the tests that he's missed so far up until this point. So he has to test that many times.
Hey, Lamont,
be sticking shit on
Lamont, did you hear this? They were saying Russell Westbrook and James Harden was like kind of pissed at the owner because he was backing Trump and putting money into his campaign and all of that.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
I heard that, but I don't know how true it is because all the owners support Trump. Anybody who's a billionaire supports Trump because he's
they probably support. They may support him.
I'm just saying. If I was a billionaire, I would probably be supporting Trump because he loading your pockets up. I mean,
right.
That's why they love him. That's why I'm just being real with you. I'm just being real with you about the money. Trump was helping out the billionaires. Yeah. So they all was for Trump. So I don't hate on the owners for that, but I don't think that's a legitimate reason because everybody in the NBA be complaining about their owners.
Man, I don't want to hear all that, bro.
I actually think the Clippers to bro that was I think a fan of the Clippers or whatever. I actually think they're gonna have a great season, better than last year. You understand? But the only issue is that point guard position.
Damn, they said Debo passed. They said Debo passed away in the chat.
Debo died.
RP Tyler.
2020 need to get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know. We don't know what happened yet. They found him unconscious. They don't know the cause of death yet.
2020 been and Pops died too, bro.
Yeah,
RP the fuck out of here, bro.
RP Ty Lister, man, aka D Boy, aka Zeus.
Yeah, David, man, that was my guy.
Hey, David.
What up, bro?
Hey, you know, knowledge is 2 words, right?
I hear you talking.
So know the ledge, nigga.
That nigga said know the ledge.
I knew you gonna say that. I knew you gonna say
know the ledge.
Hey, B.
That nigga stupid, dog.
What up, Goat Mike?
Hey, B's there? B's in here?
What up, Goat Mike?
Hey, don't start trolling, bro.
Hey, what's up, B? Hey, B's, you trying to ask me a question yesterday, bro. What was he trying to ask me, bro?
Oh, hell no. That don't even
go Mike. We talking about the NBA right now, man. Come on, man. We're not talking about that yesterday.
Hey, go Mike.
What's up?
Is Paul George worth the paper that $220 million was written on?
You said was he worth it? They had to sign. They had to give it to him.
Yeah, nigga.
They had to. They had to give it to him.
Why they had to give it to him, go, Mike?
Kawhi Leonard said so.
Explain that.
Hold on. Hey, to be real with you, that might be the best point of the day.
Man, fuck out of here.
Hold on.
Whatever Kawhi say,
Kawhi
go.
Leonard.
That do make sense though.
Whatever Kawhi say, go.
Hey yo, Go might be dropping jewels on low, man.
Hey, that's right. The best point of the day.
Low.
I'm not even gonna stunt.
Yo, subscribe to Go Mike channel though, man. You get more jewels like this.
They had to sign. Let me tell you this. The dude that asked, who was it, David? He said, why they signed Paul George? Kawhi Leonard said so. Kawhi Leonard said sign him. Whatever Kawhi said.
That's why they went. That's
okay.
That's why they went and got him.
Why Kawhi ain't got no fucking extension on the table then?
We don't know. He gonna get paid.
Kawhi's already stated he's staying in LA.
Okay, nigga. Hey, show me with facts, nigga. They just gave Paul George an extension.
But Anti, did you know? Did you see that? Did you? Hold on, Anti. Did you see the 2-year extension for LeBron James? Did you see that coming?
Yeah, I know LeBron won't go nowhere, bro.
No. That's not what he asked you.
Did you know that he was going to get a 2-year, $80 million extension?
I know he was going to do an extension, but I know he wasn't going nowhere.
Yeah, but Kawhi, the same thing with Kawhi. You know, he's going to listen. You don't know
you don't know if Kawhi is leaving the Clippers or not, bro.
Why would he leave? Why would he leave LA?
If they get knocked out of the second round like they did this year, he is gone.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Hey, hold on, y'all. Let me ask Anti a question. Let me ask Anti this. If Kawhi Leonard was leaving the Clippers, why would they sign Paul George to that deal?
Because he's the all-star, nigga. They gonna need leverage for him.
They would have not signed Paul George if Kawhi was leaving.
Hold on. Anti,
they would have not signed Paul George if Kawhi was leaving.
You do realize?
Hold on, Anti. Goat Mike's done flamed you on 2 points already.
Goat Mike ain't flamed me.
They signed Paul George for a reason. Why would they sign Paul George if Kawhi was leaving?
Okay, hold on. Stop.
Why would they sign Paul George if he was leaving?
Answer that question.
I'm about to answer. Hold on.
Why
would they sign Paul George if Kawhi was leaving?
Let me answer.
Okay, bro.
How much did they give up? How much did they? Boy, I know you ain't called nobody no troll. I know you, boy. You better get your dirt at, boy. Answer
the question.
Answer the question.
It's Paul George. True, shut your fucking goat.
That wasn't even me. That wasn't even me, though. That wasn't even me.
Answer the question.
Can I talk?
Okay, answer the question.
Okay. Let's say Kawhi do leave. The only all-star you will have left on your team will be Paul George. Didn't they mortgage their future to get Paul George?
That makes no sense.
Shut up,
that makes no sense. It's making no sense.
Let him finish, go Mike. Let him finish, go Mike. Let him finish.
All right, I'll let him finish.
Oh, wow.
Go, Mike. How many first-round picks they give up to get Paul George?
That has nothing to do with what I said. That has nothing to do with what I said. Why would they sign Paul George? Why would they sign Paul George if Kawhi was leaving? That makes no sense.
Yo, Go Mike know his basketball low though.
He know what he's talking about.
He got you on that one, bro. He got you on
Kawhi
that one.
is not leaving LA. Kawhi
I'm
is
gonna
not
tell
leaving
you.
LA.
Listen, Anti, you do realize though, right? All the decisions they make, they pass it through Kawhi too. You know that, right? He's involved. Like
that is facts. That's facts.
And
they asked Kawhi first. They asked Kawhi first.
You know why Kawhi ain't signed his deal? For the same reason Anthony Davis waited.
So exactly.
Get him, bees. Get him, bees.
Get him, Max.
No, so they can make moves in the offseason.
They ain't making no more moves in the offseason. The roster is set.
You don't know that though, man. Listen,
they're gonna make some moves. They're gonna make some moves.
What move?
Next year. Talking about next year. Listen, they listen. You don't know what type of moves they make. Listen, man. You didn't see the Paul George. Nobody who saw the Paul George deal coming. Nobody saw that coming.
Okay.
Nobody saw that coming.
So, if Kawhi leave, bro, I'm gonna come in here and flame all y'all.
He's not gonna leave, but he's not leaving. You gonna flame yourself, man? Because nobody, you gonna flame yourself because he ain't leaving nowhere. Why would he leave? He's from LA. Why would he leave?
And what that mean? Because he's from LA. If they not,
he's already said he's there for the rest of his career.
Kawhi don't be lying. Yeah, Kawhi always been honest.
They signed Paul George for a reason, man. They signed Paul George for a reason. What,
I really believe the Clippers gonna have a good year, but they gonna have their hands full because they're not gonna get the first overall. You know what I mean? They're not gonna be number one in the standings. So that means they gotta play either Portland or Denver. They in trouble.
No, so I think it's gonna be because the pressure's not on them this year.
Lamar, you mean to tell me
the pressure's on the Lakers this year?
Hold up. If the Clippers get beat again by Denver or Portland in the playoff, you think Kawhi signs and goes back?
Yes.
Why would he? Where would he go?
Kawhi staying in LA.
He been honest. Why
LA.
Kawhi? Listen, this thing about Kawhi Leonard is where do you see him?
He from there,
Kawhi
bro. He from there.
Okay. Airtime. Where Kawhi? You can anything, but Kawhi is not known. He's truthful for his word. He ain't he don't make promises just to make he don't just come on. That don't make any sense. It's Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, he not Kevin Durant, bro.
Yeah, you ain't saying he ain't never when he went to Toronto, he didn't make no promise saying he gonna stay in Toronto. He ain't make no promises.
True. Let me ask Anti another question. If Kawhi Leonard said, I'm leaving, would they have signed Paul George if Kawhi said he was leaving?
Did I say he said he was leaving?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
This is what I'm saying. If Kawhi Leonard said, I'm leaving LA, would they have signed Paul George?
Yes
or no?
Yes,
exactly. That's a good question.
But they don't know. No, but they don't know because Giannis. Hold on.
So you mean to tell
We're not talking about Giannis. We're not talking about Giannis.
No,
we're talking about if Kawhi Leonard.
You mean to tell me
if I'm leaving?
If they knew Kawhi was leaving, they wouldn't have signed Paul George long term. You a lie. Why wouldn't you? He becomes the all-star. He's the only all-star you got. You
Kawhi Leonard is the one.
Future for Paul George.
Leonard brought Paul George. Kawhi Leonard is the one who brought him over there. What are you talking about?
We understand they asked to go get him. They had to give him how many first round picks to go get him?
Kawhi asked for him.
Y'all, Kawhi got a lot of pull in the Clippers, man. He got a lot of pull.
Hold on, we already know he's the one that got Serge Ibaka over there.
Exactly. Why would he leave?
Why
would he leave? He got all that. He got a lot of pull
just to leave.
Exactly. He got a lot of pull in LA. This is the most pull he ever had in his career.
You mean to tell me he called up Stephen Ballmer? Hey, since I'm staying, go ahead and pay Paul George the max.
Yes,
he said that.
Fuck out of here, man.
Dude, hold on, airtime. You talking about the same dude? You talking about the same dude that told the Clippers get away all your assets and get Paul George? You trying to tell? Why would he? Come on, he got that much power and that much pull in the organization.
He told them.
Why would he leave? Why would he leave? Why would he leave somewhere else where he not gonna get that same amount of pull?
If he not winning, nigga, what you stand for?
He's from L. Come, all right, man. I hear you.
He's from LA.
I hear you. He's from LA. That's LA, a great market. If LA one of the biggest markets.
At the end of the day, the joke's on the Clippers, bro. Because I'm telling you, bro, these niggas gave up a 17-point lead in Game 5. They gave up a double-digit lead in Game 6.
The pressure's not on the
niggas was
Clippers.
up.
Hold on.
The pressure's on the Lakers. The pressure's on the Lakers.
Hold, stay right there. Stay right there. You mean to tell me
after
they just came off a 3-1 deficit and they just blew that shit. You mean to tell me, let's say they go down 3-1 to get to another team and they blow that same fucking lead. You mean to tell me Kawhi gonna stay with that team?
Yes.
That's what he said. He gonna stay there. Why would he?
This is how I look at it, y'all. This is how I look at it. He say if they not winning, he gonna leave. What do you mean not winning? Because
nigga, if you ain't battling for championships, what are you doing?
Hold on. They are battling for championships. Even if they
round, you ain't battling for shit.
Yes, they are.
They battling for championships. We're not lying. Hold on. What you mean you're not battling for championships?
When you have PG and Kawhi Leonard on your team, you're going to be in contention to win the championship every year. You have both of those players on your team.
That's facts.
They wasn't last year. They wasn't last year.
Hold on. Last year, I don't want to hear it. Almost everybody here had the Clippers pick to win it all.
Yes. And they lost.
I didn't.
You tell me. Hold up. And let's say for this.
They finished third in the standings, bro. They finished third in the fucking standings.
Let's say they play Denver's in the playoff again, and they go up 3-1, and Denver
gonna lose, nigga.
Again. You mean to tell me?
You be talking in hypotheticals too much.
No, I'm not. It could happen.
If you do, hold on, my nigga. First of all, airtime. You want to bet? Hold on. You trying to tell me that's what? First of all, if they do that again, that's not going to happen. You do realize that, right? All that hypothetical you talking about, that's all right, airtime. You really think they're gonna go 3-1 on the same team? They're gonna say anything that's gonna happen? You crazy? So you believe that?
Let me ask you.
You is crazy. You believe that?
Hold on.
That's wild, yo.
Hold up, y'all. Hold up. It don't have to be a 3-1 lead, nigga. Let's say
don't change it up. Don't change it up now.
No. You ain't gotta say. Let's say they lose to.
Hold on. That just don't happen in the NBA. When teams lose, people don't just get to jumping ship, leaving. You don't even see that now. I mean, look how many years James Harden was with Houston before he even requested a trade.
Just look at Boston. Look at Boston only won one chip. When that big three era,
James
they only got.
Harden won a championship?
No.
How long you been in Houston though? How long you been in Houston?
Hold on. But if that was the case,
he was used to playing in the finals.
But if he used your strategy, he would have requested a trade from Houston the first year they lost to Golden State.
Hey, Lamont.
Players don't just up and run as soon as they lose. They come back and try again.
So who on here got the Clippers winning this year? Who on here got the Clippers winning this year?
I don't got winning, but I tell you this: don't sleep on the Clippers though.
Can I ask Anti another question?
Yeah, go ahead.
I got another one here. By Anti's logic, James Harden, Dame Lillard, Jamal Murray, they have lost several times. Why did they stay on their team? Why did they stay on their team? James Harden, and Jamal Murray have lost over the years. Why did they not leave?
That was legit though.
Why has Dame James?
Hold on, let him finish this question.
Why did Dame, James Harden, and Jamal Murray stay on their teams even though they've lost over and over and over and over and over?
Has any of them niggas got to the finals and won a chip?
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about losing over and over.
I'm asking you, have any of them got to the championship and lost?
None of them guys have asked for trades.
That would make it easier if somebody leave. They never won nothing.
Kawhi, nigga.
Right, but I'm just saying with your logic.
He's used to going to the finals, bro.
Dame got Portland.
You mean hold up? He used to going to the finals. Am I not correct with Kawhi? He used to playing in the finals, right?
First of all, y'all do. Hold on. First of all, you do realize that Kawhi Leonard left the Spurs. Here's the thing. He's not on the Clippers for no reason. All his career ended up the Clippers not just for no reason.
Fam, what's his contract? He got a 2-1, right? He can opt out next year, right? Hold up. You mean to tell me if this man goes up against a team in the West and he get bounced out of the second round again with the same team basically that you just had, this man not gonna be looking for more options in the NBA? You think he gonna re-sign with that same team?
Yeah.
He said, Kawhi, listen, airtime. That man sit there and said that he stayed.
I don't give a fuck what he said.
That's cool. But you can't just what in Kawhi Leonard's career is showing you that he's not gonna stay? What he just said. So you don't believe a man on his word. That's what Kawhi Leonard been. That's cool. That's what Kawhi Leonard did his whole career. That's what Kawhi Leonard did his whole career. Stay on his word.
Let me say this. When I look at the Clippers, bro, I'm really trying to find out with all the moves they make in the signings and everything. Let's say Kawhi does go back there, right? I'm trying to find out when is the Clippers going to win a championship in this window of 2, 3, 4 years. So listen to me real quick. I'm thinking about it, right? Next year, Anthony Davis and LeBron James read up for multiple years. So when free agents hit the market next year, and you looking at the papers on the table, you got a contract for the Clippers or the Lakers. All right. I don't really see big names saying, "Oh yeah, let me go fuck with the Clippers." You know what I'm saying?
You're lying like a motherfucker. You lying. You're lying like a motherfucker. I'm gonna tell you why you lying because Serge. It was a lot of reports that Serge. Oh, you lying? Hold on. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you at this point right now. First of all, it was a lot of reports saying that Serge was gonna go to Lakers. What is it the fact that it was a lot of reports saying that Serge was gonna go to the Lakers? Right or wrong? And he went to the Clippers. He went to the Clippers. So what are you talking about?
19 million, nigga. The Lakers couldn't give him 19 million, nigga.
They really could have. They could have gave him 19 million. They could have gave him 19 million.
They gave Montrezl Harrell 19 million.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Montrezl Harrell had the money before Serge Ibaka.
Who your team, David?
I ain't got no team. I'm just spitting facts.
What?
The Clippers aren't winning no championship over the Lakers in the next 3 years.
How do you know that?
You don't know that for a fact. You don't know that for a fact.
Hold on, but David, you definitely won't have a chance if you allow PG and Kawhi Leonard to walk out the door.
That's true too. But I'm looking at this, right? And I'm like, okay, let's just say for odds, DeMar DeRozan hits the market next year. He done made a lot of money. Let's say he want to come to the Lakers for 15, 20 million a year, right? Which the Lakers can do because Montrezl Harrell will fall off of their contract next year. All right, they can maneuver some stuff and sign another player for 20 or 25 million. I do not see in the NBA somebody beating the Lakers next year when they can sign a 20 or 25 million dollar player. That's what I'm saying. I'm not a fan. I'm just spitting facts.
So you trying to tell me it makes more sense to DeMar DeRozan sign with the Lakers and the Clippers? That's what you're saying? If you saying that, that's cap.
That's all hypothetical.
That's cap. That's hypothetical in his cap because DeMar DeRozan is hypothetical in his cap.
It don't gotta be DeMar DeRozan, nigga.
Hold on.
It
It makes very
anybody,
sense.
nigga. Why would you go play with Kawhi and Paul George? They've done shit to prove in the Clippers uniform.
Kawhi Leonard's a two-time champion.
Hold on.
Clippers uniform. Let me finish, nigga. So you can hear my words. I said in the Clippers uniform. Don't put words in my mouth that I'm not saying. I know the nigga won 2 rings. In the Clippers uniform, they've done nothing.
That just hate. You hating on Kawhi, dude. You hating on Kawhi.
I got him. Go, Mike. Hold on. Go, Mike. I got.
He's a top 5 player. You see niggas. Hold on. Go, Mike. You see niggas raising their hands saying, "Ooh, let me go play with Kawhi Leonard." Outside of Paul George, they grew up together.
There's a whole lot of players who love to play with Kawhi. There's a whole lot of players who love to play with Kawhi.
I don't know what you talking about.
LeBron James wanted that. LeBron James tried to get Kawhi. What you talking about?
This nigga always being top.
LeBron James tried to get Kawhi. What you talking about?
That's when that nigga started
James tried to get Kawhi.
You're listening.
LeBron James tried to get Kawhi. What you talking about?
You're not listening, buddy.
You said players don't want to play with Kawhi, right? LeBron James tried to get Kawhi.
So yeah.
LeBron tried to get Kawhi.
I said he wanted him to come to the Lakers. LeBron ain't going to no fucking Clippers. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
No, hold on, bro. You said players do not want to play with Kawhi Leonard. That's what you said.
Go, Mike.
No, you're not listening to me, little buddy. Hey, little buddy, hold on. Time out, bro.
You hating on Kawhi, dude. You a hater of the Clippers.
Listen, little buddy.
You hating on the Clippers.
Listen, little buddy. I know you sitting on the couch in the basement, but listen to what I'm saying.
I bet you're a Lakers fan.
I'm not a Lakers fan.
You hating on Kawhi?
You said what, bro?
You hating on Kawhi? You hating on Kawhi?
I have a question.
Hold on, one at a time.
Go, Mike.
Do anybody in here? Hold on. Do anybody?
Let Lee talk.
Yeah, go Mike.
Ahead, King.
Go, Mike. All David.
Who's this?
It's Lee. All David is saying. David, please correct me if I'm wrong. David is saying that he's not saying that nobody will want to play with Kawhi. He's just saying what's the history in terms of the Clippers winning with Kawhi and Paul George in the Clippers uniform. David is
right.
He's saying hypotheticals.
That's true. That's true. Right, but that's true.
No, they've only played together 1 full season.
Exactly.
What are y'all talking about?
Exactly. And my whole thing is this. In 5 years, listen, hold on. Let's keep it all the way up. 5 or 3 years ago, nobody thought that the Clippers gonna get Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. So don't sit there and be like,
hold on. Here's the best example. Dame and CJ been together how long? Ain't won a championship, but it's hard for them to break that up because as long as you have those 2 players, you always gonna be competing. It's about putting the right pieces around them. You just need to make it happen one time. If Dame and CJ just win 1 championship, is worth it. So if if PG and Kawhi give the Clippers 1 championship
out of the next LA Legends,
it's worth it.
They LA Legends, man.
You said they LA Legends.
They want to hold on. If they win a championship, Clippers, they LA Legends,
bro. I can't, bro.
That was their first year playing together.
First of all, I'm gonna tell you that.
I have a question for the panel. Hold on.
That was their first year playing together.
None of y'all ever say it was AD and LeBron first year. I don't hear y'all saying that shit.
It was Kawhi.
I did say that.
I got a question.
That's because it's LeBron.
What's up, Anton?
You a walking contradiction, bro.
I said that though. I gave AD LeBron.
No, true. I'm not talking about you, true. I heard you.
Hold up, y'all. Hey, Lamont.
But niggas bringing up standards for the Clippers that they ain't putting on nobody else. Nigga, AD just got there. They basically put the whole team together. Danny Green wasn't there. That was a whole new team. That was an AAU team that just won a chip, nigga.
So what are you saying? What is the standard that you say we put on the Lakers? What is that standard?
So what y'all saying is the reason the Clippers didn't win, no chemistry. They just got together. You see what I'm saying? But I look over across the hall and David, when the Clippers, when that team got put together in year 1, everybody picked them to win it all. They messed that up. I think they all know it. Like if you listen to Kawhi talk now and going into this season, he's been accountable for everything. He knows that they fucked up. He knows that they were supposed to win it all. There was a reason why the Clippers were the odds-on favorite to win it all because they had the deepest and they had the best team in the NBA. I don't care if they were a 2 seed, a 3 seed, a 1 seed. They were the best team in the league, and they botched it. They blew it. They know it. Lamont, that's on paper. That's facts. Lamont. That's facts, but that's on paper. Lamont,
what you mean? Hold on. What do you mean on paper? What do you mean on paper? They was favored to win a championship.
Let me tell you. When I looked at the Clippers last year, I saw a bunch of one-way players outside of Kawhi and Paul George. You got a point guard that can't score to save his life. He's only good on one side of the floor. You got a big man in Montrezl Harrell who can't guard a fucking big to save his life.
David, let me guess. You were one of the few. But David, let me guess. You were one of the few.
Say this after the fact.
Hold on. It's easy. Let's just say it's easy to say after the fact. Let me guess. You were one of the few that said that the Clippers weren't going to win it, right?
Yes. The roster was odd.
It's easy to say now.
Odd. Listen, when you had Lou Williams on the floor, people was hunting him out in the pick and roll. That's what I'm telling you. I know basketball.
But I know, David, but when Montrezl Harrell and Lou Williams were both averaging 20 off the bench, when Paul George was averaging damn near 27, when Kawhi Leonard wasn't hurt, when they was cooking, everybody had them to pick to win.
That's in the regular season, though, Lamont. I played college basketball. Hold on. I played college basketball, so I know Go Mike never played in middle school. But listen to me.
David. I'm finna debunk your stuff right now.
In the playoffs. Hold on, let me finish, bro.
This nigga Go Mike been on chicken TV all day.
I'm finna debunk your stuff right now. Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell was in and out the bubble. You think that had no effect on Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell going in and out the bubble?
It definitely did. But let me tell you something, bro. I vouch for Montrezl Harrell, nigga. His grandmama died. My grandmama died. I wouldn't have been focused on basketball either. I wouldn't have been focused on basketball either. So point taken. I get it, bro. But what I'm saying is, Montrezl Harrell, grandmama dying and being out of shape had shit to do with blowing a 3-1 lead when you up by double digits in every fucking game, nigga.
Man, you just hating on the Clippers. That's all this is. It's all this is hate. That's all
I'm spitting facts. I'm spitting facts.
It's easy after a fact.
Hold on. Let me ask you.
David a Lakers fan.
Maybe I'm mixing something, bro.
What's up, Anton?
What up, though?
So you mean to tell me? Let me ask y'all something. Y'all don't think the Clippers then offered a max extension to Kawhi? Y'all don't think so?
You don't. They going off him. They going.
Kawhi Leonard waiting. I think Kawhi Leonard waiting.
No, I mean, wait, no, it's no way. If he's saying he's
gonna
stay,
wait, man.
They waiting.
On what?
So come on. They try. Listen.
Fam.
They going.
It ain't. Hold up. You can do it all you can. Link up. You post that always. Go ahead. The Lakers just locked up LeBron and AD, right? So you mean to tell me if they looking at that landscape, okay, we need to go ahead and lock y'all two niggas up. I'm pretty sure the Clippers then offered this nigga a max deal, bro. And this nigga ain't signed.
You don't know that. You didn't know that. You don't know that.
LeBron waited for AD.
You don't know.
Hold on. LeBron
waited for AD.
Hold on. Let me break it down like this. And Bees will tell you this. The reason why the Lakers were able to sign Montrezl Harrell is because they went into an office with Anthony Davis and said, look, here's the contract. We're going to sign you to a max deal, whether it's a 1-and-1, whether it's a long-term extension. But we need you to not sign this right now to leave all of this salary cap open so we can make moves. And we can make moves. We can better the roster. We can bring in personnel, which is what they did. And then after all of that was done, they went into the luxury tax and hit the luxury tax threshold to sign Anthony Davis after they made massive improvements to their roster. If they sign Kawhi Leonard, so just like Gold Mike said, signing PG right now is showing good faith to Kawhi Leonard. Look,
that's facts.
We locked him in. Now we just need you. We're gonna offer. You know that Kawhi Leonard's gonna get the max.
Yeah,
I don't care if he's hurt. I don't care what you think.
That makes sense.
But they need to hold off on any move on signing him long term because without his contract on the books, you can bring in you can always sign Kawhi Leonard to hit going over the luxury tax, but you can't bring in new free agents when you're already over the luxury tax. So his contract's off the books. If he opts out, let's say he opts out at the end of this season, his money's all off the books. They're under the luxury tax, and now they can bring in players, bolster the roster, and then re-sign Kawhi Leonard. The same thing the Lakers just did, the same thing the Clippers are going to do next year. This is why I'm not worried about Kawhi Leonard leaving.
Yeah, I agree with that, Lamont. I agree with that.
Lamont, anti forgetting LeBron James waited for AD too.
Facts.
LeBron James waited for AD.
I agree with that. Hey, go Mike. Let me ask you something, because you said Montrezl Harrell was out of shape, and I agree with you, bro. Like I thought if he was in shape and everything, I think he would have dogged something in the bubble. So let's talk about it now. Now that the Lakers got him and he all coming off the bench with Dennis Schroeder, you know. So
Dennis Schroeder going to start.
Okay, either way. So if he coming off the bench with Wes Matthews, either or, it ain't gonna really matter. Them niggas gonna get buckets in bunches. And so when I look at the Clippers, they blaming shit still on Lou Williams. Like I think they may get rid of him. The relationship is souring and fast. So when I look at the Clippers, I'm trying to figure out outside of those two, where are the points coming from? Who are the dogs
Luke
now?
Kennard, Luke Kennard, and Marcus Morris.
Hold on, True the King.
This nigga said Luke Kennard and Marcus Morris.
Hold on. So they can't score.
Hold on, True.
Sleep yourself.
Lou Williams was not focused on basketball. Lou Williams was in and out the bubble eating pepper wings and messing with women and stuff. Come on.
Hey, Mike, That's why they trying to That's why they trying to get rid of him.
Hold on.
That's why they trying to get rid of him.
The Clippers, look, I talked about this a long time ago on my podcast, y'all. The Clippers going into this offseason knew that they were extremely limited with the moves they can make. They were extremely far over the luxury tax. They have no draft picks to trade. They knew that the moves that they make were going to either be re-signing their own guys or just bringing in minimal guys. So they had to overpay Marcus Morris to keep him. They lost JaMychal Green, so they got worse there. They had to re-sign Reggie Jackson because why? You need a point guard, and you don't have any flexibility to go get a point guard in the open market. It was impossible for them to get Rondo. It was impossible for them to get Jeff Teague. They had to re-sign Reggie Jackson. That was the only option that they had.
Lamont? Rondo got $15 million. They gave Serge Ibaka.
This is why, because they were so far over the luxury tax, they couldn't sign anybody.
They couldn't sign.
No. I'm saying they gave Ibaka $19 million. They couldn't have gave that money to Rondo. That 15.
But the Ibaka wasn't Ibaka the exception?
Ibaka was a 2-year, $19 million deal, similar to the same deal.
And Rondo got 2-year, $15, right?
But here's the thing: they needed a center more than first of all that was more of a need than a point guard right now.
That was the biggest need on their team with the center position.
What a big
that can defend the pick and roll.
Oh, okay.
That's what killed them. That's how Denver.
That's why we.
And Ibaka can stretch the floor on offense, so he won't take up for Kawhi.
And you got to think they lost JaMychal Green on top of that, and when you lose Montrezl Harrell and JaMychal Green, you have to make bringing in Serge Ibaka priority.
That's true.
Which is why Kawhi Leonard picked up the phone and said, "We need you over here."
Yeah, that's true. I think it would have been smart to get Rondo too, but yeah, you're right.
Rondo was going to take that money. Rondo was going to take that less money. He wanted money, so.
And you got to remember too now when the Clippers traded for Paul George gave the Clippers his bird rights. With Kawhi signing as a free agent because he didn't come via trade, they don't have Kawhi's bird rights.
True.
They can't extend him yet. They have to wait until he hits his bird rights before they can offer him an extension. Now, he will extend after this season if he opts out because they'll be able to do that because he's been there long enough to do that. But it's all about which team owns the bird rights.
Hold on. So y'all all think. So everybody on this panel think if that man lose again, he gonna stay with the Clippers.
What are yo say? Why you don't be saying to other people that
hold on. Rich Swavey said, "Please understand the NBA cap before making outlandish comments." Hey, it's Rich Swavey. If you understand it, we're gonna see if you know it. Once you hop in the chat,
get your ass on the panel. How you
hit the link?
Lamont.
Hit the link. What's good?
Hey, Lamont. I'm redeeming. I had to redeem myself today, man.
Oh yeah, you lit anti up.
Hey, y'all better stop.
I'm lighting up anti and David at the same time. Both of them.
Hey,
David and anti getting cooked.
He making a video later.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Go, Mike. You didn't get David, but you definitely got anti.
I did get David too, bro. I did get David too, bro. Anti and David at the same time.
I held my own.
David on
his own. David on his own though.
David just hate, man. He just hating on the Clippers, dude.
I held my own.
You just a hater on the Clippers, man.
This nigga been on the channel all day.
Now he think he's good. I think they're gonna be good, Go Mike. I think they're gonna be good, but I think they're gonna run into the same issues next year because this was gonna happen. When it comes, let's say the Clippers meet the Lakers, all right, hypothetically, in the Western Conference Finals. When it's crunch time, AD's going to the 5. Now you got Montrezl Harrell, or you could put in Marc Gasol, who could stretch the floor. They have so many matchup nightmares for the Clippers.
So
and then
Serge,
you got
hold on.
Let me ask you this,
That's what
David.
Serge is there for.
Serge can't guard all them niggas.
They got the matchup nightmares for
David,
everybody in the league.
Let me ask David a question, y'all. Let me ask David this.
What the fuck you think
Serge
Serge gonna
how do
do
you
with
know
Anthony Davis?
Oh, we got to go one at a time,
know-
y'all. We got to go one at a time. Go ahead.
Hey,
Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Lamont. Let me ask David this. How do we know who's going to be healthy and who's not going to be healthy? You know what I'm saying?
All right,
Because
bro, you
if
going
Anthony
too deep
Davis
with
is
it.
not
You
healthy,
going too deep with it.
if AD
I'm
is
talking
not
about if
healthy,
they
you
healthy.
never know.
Hold on,
I
but
know,
go
but
Mike.
you never
Right
know.
now,
You never know.
but right now,
You
go Mike.
losing it, though.
AD's
You
healthy.
losing, though.
Hey,
You
we
losing
Right
basing
now,
it right
AD's
now.
healthy.
Yeah, he's
And
healthy
guess
right
what?
now.
Guess what,
I'm
Lamont?
saying
Guess what?
that's
AD
right
is
now,
a
though.
champion, Lamont. He a champion now. And we know how champions come back next year
Hey, what
hungrier.
if Paul George show
Hey,
up? What if Paul
Hold on,
George
but
show
here's
up?
the
What
here's
if
the
what
here's
if Paul
the
George
thing.
show up?
If you look at how the Lakers bolstered their roster, now they're deeper and they're younger. They don't have to rely on AD and LeBron so heavily. I guarantee you, we see a large minute reduction, especially early in the season.
Man,
Don't be surprised if LeBron and AD are playing 25 minutes a game to
They
start the
gonna
season.
blow teams out.
Hey,
They gonna blow teams out and be sitting in the fourth.
Hey,
And
David. Hey,
hold
David.
on,
What if Paul
Mike,
George
and
show up? What if Paul George show up?
Hold on, go, Mike. Let bro ask this question. Go ahead, bro. I got heat.
and David, and I'm glad you said, and Lamont and David, I'm glad you guys talked about the Lakers' death and how deep they are, especially with the bench improving. I think really now I may be wrong, but I think the one team in the West that could give the Lakers a run for their money, they're not going to beat them, but that could have a chance to get them somewhat. But I would say more so Denver, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, because of the Jokic factor, like Jokic gives fits, like Jokic just gonna run wild on the Clippers. He gave us fits.
Hold on.
But listen.
Hold on, let him finish.
Hold on,
let David finish.
Listen. I agree with bro. Because listen, Jamal Murray was giving him 40. So I don't really. I mean, they gotta step it up. I agree with you, bro. But the issue is with the Lakers being so deep. Like if you was ever gonna get the Lakers, last year was the year to get them. Like
Right.
trying to get them
That's
this
facts.
year while they got Wes Matthews, Dennis Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell, KCP back, Morris back. Like they brought all of the key back.
But
Right,
Like this shit is crazy.
But hold on. But David, one thing, and I'm gonna let True go after this. With the Denver, this is what scares me about the Denver Nuggets. If Michael Porter Jr. and Bol have breakout years, it's gonna be hell for the whole NBA.
Yes,
So,
It is.
I think,
but on the defensive
they still
end,
not
on the
better than
defensive
Lakers.
end.
They still
On the
not better
defensive
than-
end, hey, Lamar, I agree. But on the defensive end, Bol, in the words of Shaquille O'Neal, barbecue chicken.
Oh, hold on, but Porter Jr. too. They
Yeah.
both
them.
barbecue chicken on the
They
defense.
both barbecue chicken.
Right,
So
yeah.
I give them two more. I give them 2 more years so that they can hit that iron in those weights, Lamont. And in 2 years, they gonna be an issue. But talking about this upcoming season on the offensive end, that shit gonna come because they both talented. But when you talk about the playoffs, they can't guard nobody. Marc Gasol, do you know what he would do to Bol?
I was just about to ask that. How come?
Yeah,
I mean,
come on, man.
Granted, with I think they're definitely going to improve in terms of Bol and Michael Porter Jr. and they get Will Barton back, which would be nice.
Yeah, that's true.
We all know the 7
my man.
Joker, and we all know Jamal Murray. They're just going to go nuts. But
Yeah,
how
they
come
got 2 years?
But how come you and Lamont say with Bol and Michael Porter Jr. is going to be barbecue chicken? Again, I just want to know.
On defense, bro.
Hey, y'all saw the video that I did on Porter Jr. Porter Jr. is
on
probably
defense. He doesn't understand. I got you, Lamont.
gained 20 pounds of muscle.
On defense, Michael Porter Jr. Let me break it down for bro real quick because I know basketball. On defense, he didn't understand the reads, bro, with the pick and roll, and he didn't understand. You can see him turning his head a lot, and he's pointing. When somebody's pointing and turning their head, that means they don't understand the reads, so they need help quicker. So he didn't understand the reads, what the Lakers was doing in those down screens and those back picks. And so he was getting there late. Even with Kyle Kuzma flaring out and shooting that jumper in his eyeball, he was too late. So he needs another year to understand and read the game of basketball. You got to think about it. Last year, he sat on the bench. He wasn't on the floor because he was hurt. When you get on that floor, Then you got to read those defenses. And the same for Bol. He's not going to be able to read those defenses in that pick and roll, and then he's just not big enough. Like Marc Gasol, Montrezl Harrell, and AD, their eyes are gonna light up when they see that kid. So Bol, and we gotta. That's why we said 2 more years, because you got to understand not only the speed of the game, that's gonna take a full season, but you got to understand the reads of the game. Not for the regular season, sir, but for the playoffs. When that court shortens and niggas is putting you in that pick and roll and they picking on you, you going to the bench. You see what I'm saying? So that's why we said it's gonna take them. You know, Bol was essentially.
But what I saw with Porter Jr. was this, because he had flashes in the regular season where he shown that potential that he could play defense. His problem was this, especially when he came out in that press conference and played about his role in the offense. And I've seen this on teams that I played on myself, where guys allow their offense to affect how they play defense. He's not a smart defensive player, but his number one problem was that he didn't give effort at all. If he did, with his length and size, if he gives effort, he can get stops just by giving effort. Now he's gonna still have them bonehead mistakes, especially off screens and the reads. His reads are terrible, but he didn't get. He made it worse. He made mistakes, and he didn't give effort to even try to fix those mistakes. And when I saw that, I said, that's all. But I think when you get that bad on defense, it's because you're so worried about offense that you stop trying on defense. I've seen that with good players. His upside is like Klay Thompson upside as far as defense, not shooting, but defense, because he got that kind of body. He's got that kind of body, so that's why everybody's high on. That's why everybody high on him. He's got the same kind of body as Klay. He has to accept his role on offense, though.
But David, it's not about his body. It's about what's between the ears. What Klay Thompson
I know.
But what Klay Thompson does defensively, he's just very smart. He's not the quickest dude. He doesn't have the greatest lateral movement. He just knows. He just plays well between the ears. With Michael, Go ahead.
Yeah, I said that. I said it took Klay a couple years to get it. That's why I said he need a couple more years to get it.
But see, here's the difference though with Porter Jr., and this is where I don't blame everything on Porter Jr. See, being good defensively starts with your best players talking, communicating, calling out assignments early, calling out them switches early. If that back line, especially like your center on that back line, he should have been calling all of them reads out to Michael Porter Jr., especially if he's young. Draymond Green. Listen, if you've ever been on like courtside an NBA game, I'm gonna tell you the 2 loudest guys I've heard talking is Miles Leonard. Well, I heard Miles. I'm just talking about recent. Draymond Green and Miles Green. If you sit in courtside, you can literally hear them guys yelling out every read for especially to Steph. He's yelling out every read to Steph. Every read, what to do, when to go into drop coverage, when to switch, when to not switch, when to fight over. Like Draymond is yelling everything out, and that comes from your veterans. So if he don't have other veterans on that team helping him out, he's always going to struggle. And he's not going to learn.
And he got them veterans. That's why I don't really believe in that Denver
But his
team.
veterans aren't great. Jokic is lazy on the defensive end himself.
Yeah, that's why I don't really believe in that Denver team as much, because they got a lot of flaws. They got the talent, but it's just the mentality. They got flaws when it comes to how they approach the game.
And true, a lot of their
true. I know, but I'm trying to figure out who they gonna stick to guard the main guy now, because that was Jeremy Grant, and then when he went out, it was Craig after Jeremy Grant. So when you got to play a LeBron James, or when you got to play a Kawhi Leonard, what the hell is Michael Porter Jr. gonna do with those guys?
Exactly. So it ain't gonna be easy. Next year.
You can't put Murray on them. I think
you cannot stop Kawhi with one player. You got to stop Kawhi with a team.
You got please y'all remember now, everything in the NBA, today's NBA is so switch heavy. It's not going to be one guy with the responsibility of a LeBron or a Kawhi. A lot of it's going to be who's helping backside, who's got all of that stuff is going to matter. And with Denver, because they have so much length, that's their defensive philosophy. Is basically we'll load up. We'll try to stay on one side, ball side, and load up because of our length. We can get back if the ball swings on the weak side. So that's how they play defensively, because they don't have great individual defenders at all.
No, I know. That's what I said with the pick and roll is gonna be so crazy. The pick and roll is gonna be so crazy because, like I said, if let's say they got Will Barton, Jamal Murray, and Michael Porter Jr. All right, then they got Millsap and Jokic, right? So you can put Porter Jr. or Jamal Murray both in the pick and roll, or Will Barton. Will Barton is like $185, $180. So either way you do it, you can load up, but on the pick and roll coming downhill, let's say LeBron or Paul George or somebody coming downhill, it's still gonna be an issue because they don't have the horses, they don't have the size. So loading up,
they got Michael Green.
No,
but David, I noticed that last year. It was Denver's drop coverage with their bigs. Their bigs, Jokic and Millsap were terrible. They would let guys on drop coverage run right through their chest.
And they lost Plumlee. And now
they had to play. They had the right plan, but Jokic didn't even try on defense.
And then the other issue, Lamont, that nobody talks about, they really should have went after Dwight Howard after they seen what he did to them. They have no shot blocking at the rim. None.
Now they probably feel that Bo gonna be that guy.
I just told you he's not gonna be.
I just see the comment for the Duke.
They got an underrated. They made an underrated signing that went under the radar that a lot of us don't know about, and they got again. Y'all might laugh, but he's solid. Isaiah Hardenstein they got him. He's a solid big.
He's solid. He's solid. But Bo, my thing is he's not gonna be on the floor when it's crunch time because he don't got it behind the ears. That's gonna be Millsap and Jokic. All right, under 4 minutes, that's Millsap and Jokic.
Right.
So when you don't have shot blocking at the rim under those 4 minutes, I mean that's all Kawhi and LeBron James do. They live in the paint or mid range. So when you don't have that. He can shoot it. Like, how hard is it to shoot it over Jamal Murray or Will Barton? That's what I'm saying. You need size, bro.
I mean,
and that's the thing.
You got Gary Harris, who's the best perimeter defender.
But how many of those Western Conference teams have size outside of LA?
The Clippers and the Lakers.
Hold on, I would say Portland has good size.
And Portland just got Mo Harkless. They got Mo Harkless and
Pelicans got a lot.
They got Harry Giles.
Yeah, but how many of these teams are actually going to compete in the Western Conference Finals?
Portland could. Hey, Portland got really good, bro. Portland got listen. They got you. Hold on, listen. Portland. I don't think y'all know about Portland's squad. They got Yusuf Nurkic coming back. They got Zach Collins coming off injury. They went out and got Mo Harkless. All right. They got Harry Giles. They still got their two monsters. Portland got really good.
It all depends on who you match up with because you saw
Harry Giles ain't gonna play.
The Lakers had size versus pretty much everybody, but the two bigs for them was unplayable in the Rocket series. And you know what I'm saying, in Miami, you know what I'm saying? Like it all depends on who you match up with. Like it's good to have size, but you have to have players. You have to be multi-diversal. Like the Lakers can do anything. Like you know what I'm saying? They can run a smaller lineup, they can run a bigger lineup. Like, it's
you know why they could do everything, bro? Because of one person, Anthony Davis.
Well, yeah, I mean, you like LeBron said, you big without really being big. Like they was able to put Anthony Davis at the 5 because Anthony Davis can move his feet laterally. Like how many of these players that y'all talking about can move their feet laterally and defend pick and rolls and get out to shooters and all of that stuff? Like it's not too many teams that can do that. Like,
I mean, Portland's a big team. Though. You look at this Portland team. They a big team right now.
They are big, but in the half court, they don't have a chance against the Lakers either because again, Zach Collins or Nurkic better, but Zach Collins in that pick and roll, he can't roll with you. You know what I mean? So
Portland will never beat the elite teams because of Dame and CJ.
They're a regular season team.
The worst defensive backcourt in the NBA. Dame and CJ.
They don't stop.
They too little. They too little, and I think. Like LeBron will back both of them down. And then if you want to throw in this another person we ain't talk about, Dennis Schroeder. Oh yeah.
I want to touch on a little off the topic subject right quick because Lamont, you did a video earlier when Gilbert Arenas was on that podcast.
Yeah.
I really want to hear what Anti and Truth got to say about the 90s
and how those players played back in the days versus like the players in this era. Because Gilbert Arenas kind of touched on a lot of truth.
Gilbert Arenas, to me, be honest with you, Gilbert Arenas to me is a troll.
He wasn't trolling though. He was dead serious.
I mean, no, I understand what he's saying. No, I'm not saying. Listen,
hey, I like the way he think though. I like the way he think.
Listen. Gilbert knows his bat. Gilbert knows basketball. But I'm just saying, I didn't take him with him that serious in that segment he was doing because he's known for being a troll.
Nah,
he knows what he's talking about.
In that podcast, he doesn't really troll. He's really.
He was spitting facts.
He was spitting facts.
A lot of people give too much credit to these 90s people. Like I grew up watching.
You're right about that. Listen, he didn't say. I didn't say everything he said was a lie. He said it's like
it was a lot of overhyping, man. Because like the 90s had a bunch of people like Cherokee Parks, all these dudes, like the dudes that get smoked in this era, bro. Like,
but he said everybody thinks that their era is the best. And that was where he could have ended it, because like you gotta think about it, this nigga Gilbert was giving people 50 back then, like in that close to that era. So he's seen both of them and played, like, you know what I mean, to see it. And he was like, man, these athletes today, I mean, it's night and day. Like the shit is different.
I like what he said about Gary Payton.
I'm not gonna.
Evolution is the biggest.
I'm not gonna lie.
The biggest thing.
He debunked something to me, and I always thought the shit was overrated because I heard so many people talk about it. That fucking hand checking shit.
Yeah.
He said that shit. He was like, bro, that shit was not effective. You can't use that shit in this era. He was like, a nigga will blow right past you when you try to hand check it. So back then, bro, when you was hand checking,
well, hold on.
That shit was a foul.
If you hoop, hold on, David could probably tell you this. If you hoop, it's certain players you can't put your hands on them because if they can feel you, they know how to burn you.
Yeah, but that's not everybody though. But that's not
hold
everybody.
on, but I'm telling you, when you talking about elite, the best of the best, like when it was one time I'm playing against each one more over the summer. You can't make contact with this dude because if you do, now you give him the advantage. So if I grab him, he's gonna use that to his advantage to score. Yeah. So sometimes you gotta give. I'm telling you, that hand checking will get you fucked up.
You know who's good at that right now? It's a young dude who good at that, and y'all probably watch him now. He in high school, Imani Bates. He's like he's the closest thing to like Kevin Durant. Like once you get up on him because you think he's so tall, he ain't gonna do nothing. He's gone.
Burn your ass.
David, I'm gonna give you a different example. Like I'm from Cleveland, so like we used to hoop with a nigga named Earl Boykins. I don't know if y'all remember him. Earl Boykins,
shout out Cleveland.
He a shorter dude. Shout out to you, fam. But this nigga used to drop 60 on us regularly in them summer tournaments, man. And he a shorter dude. I'm 6'5". This nigga Earl Boykins ain't nothing but like 5'6", 5'7" at the most. And this nigga used to drop 50 on us easily, like with no hesitation, like just drop 50. And like when you like niggas don't understand this, man. Like when you in the league, like you play against regular niggas, like these NBA, even the sorriest nigga gonna drop buckets on you, bro.
Hey, right. That's true.
Easy,
hey,
man.
I saw.
Like,
hey, did y'all see that highlight? Hey, that's true though, bro. You spin facts. Did y'all see that highlight? Over the summer, like when the season ended, Alex Caruso was playing pickup game.
Yeah, out in LA. Yeah.
Yeah, he had like 40 or 50. That nigga look like an all-star. The speed of the game is different. When you play with the best in the world, in practice every day, bro, you're going to go to another level. So we look at Alex Caruso like, that nigga ain't shit. Alex Caruso will give you 50 in the pickup.
And he way better than Go Mike.
But hold on, I can give you a more like if you play like D1 ball and you go through all them D1 practices, when you go home in the summer and you go to a regular gym after playing with all these. Oh yeah, you feel faster, everything easier. Like you be lighting people up.
If we were to play Jared Dudley tomorrow, we'll get dropped 50 on, bro.
Oh yeah, Jared Dudley's nice.
Hey bro, you glitching, but I'm gonna tell you like this: Alex Caruso got like a 35, 38 vertical. It's not a game, bro.
But he was nice in college though. I ain't gonna take it away.
He started game 6 in the NBA Finals to win a ring. He liked that.
Man, because what he does really don't show up on the stat sheet, man. You got a lot of players like that you don't necessarily look at the stat sheet and be like, okay, he did this. It's about the nuance stuff that Alex Caruso does that helps the championship caliber team. He kind of remind me of a better version of Matthew Dellavedova, like for the Cavs. Like,
facts. I like that.
but
I like that.
But
That's a good comparison.
with better offense. Yep, that's facts. With better offense.
That's a good comparison right there.
That is.
So
with better
that's what he
offense,
does.
though.
Yeah, that's what I said. He a better version of that. But like Matthew Dellavedova was key for us. Like I remember when in the 2015 finals, he was shutting Stephen Curry down in them first few games. He got dehydrated and had to go to the hospital. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you this: when Tim Legler for ESPN, when he the birth of that death lineup, because when he went on ESPN after Game 3, when LeBron and Delly cooked Golden State, he went on ESPN and told Steve Kerr the game plan: take Bogut out and put Iggy in there and run a depth lineup. He the reason why that depth lineup is born today because of him. Like I know that for a fact. Like LeBron was cooking them niggas until he went on live TV and told them to do that. And Steve Kerr did it in Game 4, and they didn't look back since. That's where that depth lineup was spawned from. Was from him saying that shit. And it's an adjustment. That's just like when Detroit played Michael Jordan. Jordan then was up 2-1 over Detroit until that Jordan rules came into effect. And once they made that adjustment, the Pistons didn't look back and they won that series 4-2. It's all about adjustments in the finals, man. And you need players like that don't show up on the stat sheet that contribute in other ways, man, that you don't see. That's championship.
LeBron loves players. LeBron loves players who love their role. Like, if you don't love your role, you can't play with LeBron. Because if you love your role, he loved his role. Like I tell people this all the time. One of the reasons why the Lakers, when I knew they was going to win the championship, when I saw that Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee got benched in that Rockets series and they were still on the bench jumping around cheering.
Let's go.
They love their role.
Yep.
And when you love your role, that's the making of a championship team. When I saw the clip of Reggie Jackson on the bench looking like he about to like he mad, crying, he not in the game.
Man,
you knew something right.
Back Jared Dudley, and that's why they brought back Quinn Cook. Like it's not all about being on the court, man. It's about locker room cohesiveness. If you got people that's on your team that can bring your players together, even at their worst, Jared Dudley does that. So he's just as important as somebody who starts on that team, man. You got to have chemistry. That's why the Clippers failed, because they didn't have a team chemistry, man.
Yep.
Man,
I remember Alex Caruso was always nice, though. It was nice in college. I remember he was on that Texas A&M team who had the craziest comeback of all time. And remember that comeback where they were down like double digits with like under 1 minute left, and they came back. Yeah, he was on that team with him and Daniel House.
When I seen Frank Vogel put that nigga in an elimination game in the finals, I knew he was like that. He understands the game and read the game more, and they knew that Rondo could bring something more off the bench and give. They planned on giving Rondo more minutes anyway. You know what I mean? So when they started Caruso, I already seen the game plan. Like, oh yeah, this a wrap, because he runs the floor with LeBron. LeBron love playing with that nigga. They run the floor outlet. Let's get it.
Look at their efficiency rating, bro. They said when Alex Caruso or LeBron James got the ball, when they screen and roll for each other, they got one of the highest efficiency ratings when one of them is going to the basket as far as field goal percentage.
Yeah, but that's why Alex Caruso always closed out the games. You just saw Alex Caruso in the later minutes in the games, even in the regular.
He does not do stupid stuff and turn the ball over. Like that's what I'm saying. Like when you got a dude like that, who he may not be that nigga that can cook people off the dribble, but just because you gonna make smart decisions, I'm gonna have you in this game.
Hey, hold on. Hey, True.
Yo.
Your Patriots trash, bro.
Oh my God. What is he talking about
right now?
Patriots is trash, dog.
Man, I don't want to talk about it, man.
It's garbage.
Hey, True the King. Hey, True the King. Hey, True the King. True the King.
Garbage.
Hey, True the King.
Yo.
Hey, True the King. He mad because I came in here cooking. He mad because I came in here cooking. I came here cooking him, so he mad now. I came here flaming him. He mad now. He mad now.
You made a couple of good points. Now you think you.
Why you mad anti-social? Why you mad anti-social?
Everything that you do, nigga.
I can't cook you. I cook you anti.
Everything
Why
that
you mad?
do,
Don't be mad.
Goat Mike. Hey, Goat Mike.
What's up, Bees? What's up, Bees?
Hey, keep cooking.
What's up, Bees?
Hey, Bees.
Hey, Bees. Hey, Bees. You saw my video,
Hey, what's up, Mike?
Bees. You saw?
Yeah, what's
You
up?
saw my video? You saw my video?
No,
Hold
no,
on.
I ain't seen. I'll go check it out. Keep
Hey,
cooking.
Hey,
Khalil.
go, Mike, let that man ask me a
I
question,
had.
man. When real basketball talk was being discussed, you was on mute because you know better.
Hey,
Now go ahead and
What you
ask
say?
me.
I love real
Sean? Is Sean
basketball.
talking?
Hey,
This Sean
Khalil.
That's
talking?
Khalil. That's
What up?
Khalil.
What
That's
up?
Khalil.
Hey, Khalil. So
I debate
earlier,
Sean. I debate Sean early.
hold on, go, Mike.
That's
So
Khalil.
Hold on. Let Lee get his question
That's
off. Go
Khalil
ahead, Lee.
talking. I debate him too.
Hold on, go, Mike. Hold on.
I got this nigga feeling too good about himself now. Fuck out of here.
All right, 'cause I'm
So
on
earlier,
fire.
Boy, you was trash.
Khalil, we were talking about the best possible matchup for the Lakers. Now I kind of broached the subject to the panel. Who do you think? I said the Nuggets could potentially match up with the Lakers best.
Mm-hmm.
What's your opinion on that?
Or
Or
as far as the Nuggets matching up,
just in general, in terms of the West, who matches up with the Lakers the best in the West?
Gotta be the Clippers, bro.
yeah, I would say the Clippers. I mean, a lot of people give them flack, but I listened to Kawhi Leonard's interview today where he talked about he didn't get a full training camp with them going into the last season. He had a training camp now, and by being a shortened season, I don't think load management will be a priority for Kawhi Leonard this year because you got 10 less games. So he's going to play in the majority of the games because you saw that load management kind of played.
Hey, hold up,
chemistry.
hold on. Let me ask you a question about that. When you say he gonna play in most games, because we know he can't play in back to back, right?
Uh-huh.
How many games you think he gonna miss out of 72?
Out of the 72, he'll probably miss about 10 or between 10 and 15.
Most of them are back to back, bro. Most of them are back to back.
Most of the games are back to back. That's still too much to me.
Yeah, but you got to think though, like Kawhi Leonard, when they had the every other game in the playoffs, Kawhi Leonard played in every other game, so he didn't miss any of the playoff games. So by you having a shortened season, he's going to be kind of forced because they added new pieces. You added Leonard Kennard, you added Luke Kennard. I'm sorry, you added Serge Ibaka. You added Nicholas Batum, so like he has to get acclimated to those players. So I don't think that he'll load manage this season because he know if it doesn't pan out this year, they in a lot of trouble, man. Like you just signed Paul George to a max deal. You know what I'm saying? So like you need that chemistry because the Lakers are the prohibitive favorites. Last year the Clippers were the prohibitive favorites. So
Khalil,
now
can I ask you another question?
My question. No, hold on.
Go ahead.
Let me ask a question.
Hey, now let me ask you something.
Hold on. Let me Anti.
Hold up. Go ahead.
No, I'm about to say because he said the Clippers, and I think he was probably one of the first people. So I just wanted to know, like, so the Clippers probably gonna start Luke Kennard, right? They probably gonna start Luke Kennard in Shaman's spot, all right? And they lose Montrezl Harrell. They probably gonna get rid of Lou. Lou, they fighting with him every day, so they probably gonna lose Lou. Like, let's just be 100. They gonna lose Lou because they blaming him still. So they lose Lou. My question is, when they lose Lou, I'm looking at where the firepower is coming from. Patrick Beverly can't do nothing for you on offense. So where's the fire? Like, are you dependent on Luke Kennard to be your third option? And if you say yeah, they fucking cook, bro.
Well,
hold on. Y'all make it seem like Luke Kennard can't score though. I don't know why.
I mean, he can score, but ultimately
he can't score like Lou Williams, bro.
Hey,
all
the King.
All the Clippers
Luke
need to do
Kennard,
is
he got to play both sides of the floor, bro. He got to play both sides of the floor, bro.
So Luke, hold on. They was favored to win the championship, and nobody was saying how Lou Williams about his defense.
Right
now, when Luke we got
everybody did.
Everybody
said
okay. I'm gonna listen. It's easy to say after the fact, yo. It's really
everybody
easy to say
said Lou Williams can't guard nobody.
Okay, but all that being said, they was favored to win a championship last year. That's just facts.
Yeah,
Lamar, can I say something?
Man, all you got to do is get through the regular season because when you get to the playoffs, that roster comes shorting out anyway. So it really don't matter. Like, it's good to have bench depth, but they focusing more on Paul George. This is a redemption tour for Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Specifically Kawhi Leonard, because he was the one projected to lead the team and be the alpha on that team. Paul George has never accomplished anything. Kawhi Leonard has won 2 championships in 2 different franchises, so he's the alpha on that team. This is a redemption tour for him.
So Khalil, what you saying, and this is what I was telling them earlier. Hold up. So that means, let's say, they on a redemption tour, right? I give you that. If Kawhi and them flame out in the second round again, bro, you don't think Kawhi leaving LA?
Oh yeah, because he didn't sign that. He didn't sign. Listen, Paul George just signed the max. No, listen, Paul George just signed that max. They offered that to Kawhi Leonard first. He turned it down. So then, now if you're the Clipper, because you got to remember, Paul George came out and said he wanted to be a Clipper for life before that contract was offered to him. So he had already made a campaign to be with that team. They offered that to Kawhi. So Kawhi is weighing his options. If it don't work out with this year, he's leaving because it's championship or bust. They don't care about getting out of the second round.
Hey, Lamont,
hold on. So you trying to tell me
I'm on fire?
Hold on. So you trying to tell me they offer that same amount of money to Kawhi Leonard? Kawhi Leonard is going to get paid more than that. What you got? That doesn't make any sense.
They contract to him first, though. They
hold on, but
Khalil,
if it's championship or bust, then where's he going to immediately leave and go to where he can win a championship?
What I think will happen, this may be a controversial statement that I make here, but I truly believe this in my heart of hearts. So let's say if they don't win this year, right? He signs a 1-1. LeBron James ain't getting no younger, so he gonna wait till LeBron leaves and he gonna go to the Lakers because that's where he's
going to go.
They can't afford him.
He's gonna go to the Lakers, man.
Hold on, you know LeBron just signed an extension, right?
No, he signed. That's what I'm saying. He signed an extra couple of years, so he'll be here for the next 3 years.
Hey,
listen.
I don't think he signed back.
Hey, listen. Well, you better. Hey, listen. You might as well count that nigga gone then, because they not beating the Lakers 4 fucking times. It's over.
Hey,
I know you're not beating the Lakers. Like I'm on fire, man. I can care less.
Hold up. Why
they not beating them 4 times?
First of all,
y'all want me to cook.
Hold on, let's say what he got to say.
Y'all want to have me cook.
Hold on, go ahead. Go, Mike. Go ahead. Go, Mike.
Hey,
oh my God.
Okay, I'm gonna cook again. Everybody's talking about how bad the Clippers are on playing one-on-one man-to-man defense. The Lakers play defense as a team. They don't play a lot of one-on-one defense. The Lakers play team defense. The Clippers don't play team defense. The Clippers don't play team defense. The Clippers have no team defense. Lakers play team defense. Lakers play team D, not one-on-one D.
Hey, Michael, mute your mic and just listen to this.
Mute your mic, nigga. Mute your mic, dog.
Lakers play team D. Lakers play team D.
Jamal Smith can get him 40.
That's not fault.
Jamal Smith can get him 40.
Go, Mike. Hold on. Go, Mike.
Man, you ain't speaking no facts.
Let me cook them right quick. I got a fact for your ass.
The Clippers don't play team D.
Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are 2 of the best perimeter defenders in the league, right?
Defense is about team defense. They didn't play team D.
No, Mike, answer the question.
Bro, what I'm saying to you is that the Clippers don't. Let me speak. Hey, bro, let me speak, bro. The Clippers don't play defense as a team. The Lakers play good team defense. That's why they won.
Hold on, go, Mike. I don't know why he's bringing it up, but what he's saying is the Lakers rely on great team defense as opposed to having great individual defenders.
Thank you, Lamar. That's what I'm saying.
If you look at the individual defenders on the Clipper roster, they have better individual defenders than a lot of teams in the NBA. They just don't have good team. And I exposed that on one of my videos when I broke it down.
Thank you, Lamar.
When I broke down how Kawhi Leonard no longer plays off ball defensively. He just stands a lot of times, but he did no accountability on that team. Nobody called him out about standing around on the defensive end off ball. Right. He got burned a lot.
Jamal Murray had 40 in that game.
No team D. Lee just got cooked. Come on,
can I please cook? Nobody, dude.
Lee just got cooked.
Go ahead. Go ahead,
Lee.
Go ahead, True.
Listen, man. First and foremost, man, y'all is tripping. Yo. See, this is teams like the Clippers are dangerous. Clean, like you, all this, y'all sleeping on the Clippers. No, I don't mind you. I got the Lakers still.
Nigga, did you just say the Clippers are dangerous?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, hold up.
I'm gonna tell you.
They are dangerous.
Can I please cook? Can I please cook? I've been letting y'all know. Can I please cook? listen, y'all
Let
still
King
prepared.
cook.
Listen, y'all. Same thing of how the Lakers won the championship. You know why the Lakers? One of the reasons why the Lakers won because y'all everybody underestimated the Lakers. That's facts. You won't listen. You can't. These teams like this, listen. Look at Kawhi. Listen, they know they messed up. Kawhi Leonard know they messed up. You think they're gonna still let that happen again last year? Yup. It ain't
Can
gonna
I answer
happen.
that, True?
Hold on, because I was joking.
That ain't gonna happen. I'm not
Clippers
talking
don't
about.
play
Listen,
team
hold on. Can I
Hold on,
please?
hold on.
I wasn't finished.
defense on the
I wasn't
Clippers.
finished. I wasn't finished.
Okay.
Hurry your
Go
punk
ahead.
ass
Please,
up,
no,
nigga.
ain't no
Go
hold on.
ahead.
No, y'all was
He
low.
cooking.
Hold on.
He cooking.
Hey,
Let
no, let
him
that man
go.
cook.
He
Hey,
cooking.
Billy, go get your mic, brother. You ain't talking
He
about
cooking
nothing.
you, Lee. He cooking you, Lee. You getting cooked right now by True the King. Go ahead, True the King. Keep cooking.
Listen.
Hey, go Mike.
Let him cook.
Hey, go
And that's
Mike.
not
Be
the only
quiet,
team.
Lee. Let him
Hold
cook.
on. Can I
Hey,
please
go
listen?
Mike. Go
And
Mike.
I'm not saying the
313.
Let him
Clippers.
cook. Let him cook. He talking. True the King, go ahead. He
Listen
cooking.
and
Mute your
listen. Like I
mic
said, y'all
down,
keep
dude.
y'all sit
Shut up,
here keep
Anton. He
sleeping on it.
cooking.
Y'all can sit up here and keep sleeping on it. Listen, don't get it twisted. I got the Lakers still beating them. Don't make it seem like what you seen last year is going to be the same thing up in next year. It's not going to be. It's not going to be like that.
Hey,
And
can I
then it's like, and
respond to
I'm
that,
not
True?
saying the Clippers not the only team in the West that's like that. It's a lot of teams people sleeping on that was champions that had experience. Y'all sleeping on them, like the Warriors.
Hey,
Another example. I don't know why y'all saying Denver gonna be the toughest team because I think it's gonna be up there the Clippers and Warriors, in my opinion.
bullshit.
Let me
They
ask
gonna
Lamont.
All right,
Let
that you can say.
me ask
Keep
Lamont this,
sleeping.
man. Lamont
They
just
starting a
texted me.
rookie. They starting a
What
rookie and Andrew Wiggins. Both of them niggas play no defense and they getting
That,
cooked.
hey yo, Dave. That don't make no sense. You just said a dude that James Wiseman was a high draft pick talking about he's gonna be a rookie. That ain't make no. What that supposed to mean? And no, hold on. Let me revise that statement.
Get him,
You
True the
just simply
King.
said
Get him, True the
you
King.
just simply said
don't
that
do
didn't
that,
make
Mike.
no
Don't
sense.
do
No.
True
Listen
the
to what
King
I'm saying.
cooking. True the King
Don't tell
cooking.
me, hey
Oh
Michael,
my God, Mike, shut
True
up,
the King
bro.
cooking.
chill out. Hey, so this
Keep
what I'm
cooking, True the
saying.
I got
King.
this go, Mike.
Go, Mike. Hold on. Go,
I
Mike.
got this go,
Let him
Mike.
cook.
I got this go,
You
Mike.
This little nigga, dog.
can't convince me. You can't convince me that Andrew Wiggins and James Wiseman stand a chance against Anthony Davis in his rookie year. That's unrealistic in a playoff series. So that right there tell me, no, listen, hold on, let me finish. Okay. We already know Steph is lethal, but on the defensive end, we know what it is. When they lost Clay for what he does for them, that's why all the analysts pulled out. You cannot insert Kelly Oubre and tell me they're gonna get a Lakers fits and expect me to buy that shit. You selling on this line. That's bullshit.
I'm not. That's no. Hold on. Can I respond to that? First of all, you don't know. Listen, Kelly. Listen. That's a super athletic team. First of all, that's a super athletic starting lineup right there. First of all.
Spit it out, nigga.
No, let him cook. Go
Can
ahead.
I please cook though, man? First of all, I spit it out. I don't know what. Listen, y'all. I'm cooking y'all, and y'all. Listen. First of all,
Let him cook, y'all. Let him cook, y'all. He on fire.
First
Let
of
him
all,
cook.
Wiseman. Last time I checked, Wiseman is a potential generation talent. Yes or no?
Absolutely.
And then okay. You keep saying that he was a rookie. Can I hold on? You keep saying he was a rookie, right?
Let
but
him
it was
cook.
a lot of speculation.
It was no summer league.
It was a lot of speculation that they was going to get rid of that pick, right? It was a lot of speculation. Oh, they were going to get rid of that pick to get somebody else. Guess what? They didn't. Because you know why? Because Wiseman gotta be the real deal.
You picking him? I'm not saying he ain't true. What I'm saying is there's no summer league and training camp is 3 days. He gotta hit the floor running. He gotta hit the floor running.
I'm not saying you make it seem like I'm not saying these teams gonna beat the Lakers, but you really think the Lakers going to have it's gonna be the same thing they did in the playoffs gonna be this year?
Listen,
that's a lie.
True.
It's a lie.
They beat Portland in 5. Okay,
they beat Houston. Hold on. So y'all said, hold on. Cause we can
what
make
are you
a bet.
talking about, bro?
Hold on. We can make a bet. So you saying they gonna beat everybody in the West in 5 games? A 5 game they did last year.
I'm telling you what happened
that's all
last year.
Okay,
I'm not saying that because they got to travel and all of that. I understand. I got good sense, bro. But what I'm telling you, you're trying to convince me that the Lakers have made a fall off. So this is what I'm looking at.
I didn't say that. I said
this
teams
is what
that can match up with them. That's all I'm saying.
Right. This is what I'm looking at. I'm a numbers guy. So when I see the Lakers beat all these motherfuckers in 5 and they get better in the offseason, my mind can't wrap around them falling off. I don't understand what. Now you can say everybody got better. Okay, the Lakers got better over the summer. So they beat Portland in 5, Houston in 5, and Denver in 5. I'm trying to figure out. See, when you give the Lakers
They beat
time,
Denver in 6, bro.
When you get
We
Frank
give him
Vogel,
time.
no, I'm cooking. When you get Frank Vogel time as a defensive coach to set up for your team and your team only, and he's looking at what he has Anthony Davis, Montrezl Harrell, LeBron James. When he has all these pieces, there's no way it's like you playing spades and you got the ace. Maybe you don't got the king because Kawhi could be the king, but maybe you got the ace, queen, and the jack. You see what I'm saying? You got more firepower with more spades, and you know what to do with them. And you got to beat me 4 times. If you putting money on it, because I'm a betting man, I'll put money on it. Oh yeah, shout out to if you put $250 on Phoenix to make it to the Western Conference Finals, you could make 10 bands. I made that bet, so just do it, man. That's 10 bands in your pocket if Phoenix surprise people. I will make that bet. But back to cooking your ass. Listen, Coach Vogel, hey, take that bet, bro. I'm telling you, $250, you 10 bands right now.
Are you done? Just tell me.
You can look up and do a bet.
Hold on. Can I
in Vegas.
I've been quiet the whole show. True. The under where you assume the Clippers are just going to be better. If they could have turned it on, they would have turned it on last year.
Right.
So teams can't make adjustments.
No, let me finish what I'm saying.
Okay.
They are going to be better. Baca will fit their team better, but their flaws are still there. And I don't believe their flaw to just be a point guard. I believe their biggest flaw is, hey, Kawhi Leonard's a great player, but he was an unproven guy when he carries the load all year with expectations. I don't see how that's just going to change.
Right. They leader, hey, old school, they leader is Marcus Morris. And you trying to convince me they're going to win?
I mean, listen. I didn't say. Hold on. First of all,
Marcus Morris is not no leader. Kawhi
hold on.
What I'm saying is,
he's the leader.
Marcus Morris is not the leader. Who said that, man?
They said he's their leader. Go, Mike. He's
that team, dude.
spoken person.
Kawhi Leonard is the head honcho. Kawhi Leonard is the head honcho of that team, dude.
When it comes to talent,
yeah,
when it comes to talent, he's not the leader in the locker room. The motherfucker is a mute. He don't talk. Go, Mike.
Can I jump?
Yeah, Kawhi do talk. Yeah, Kawhi do talk. Pat Bev came out and said Kawhi do talk.
Hold on. Go ahead, Sean.
Go ahead, Sean.
Hey, just real quick. Hey, let's remember, the Clippers, like a lot of teams, when you make wholesale changes and your best players are coming in for the first year, you rarely, if ever, make it to the championship or win a championship in your first year together. It takes time to put it together. Yeah. Miami, 2011, it took time to put it together. That's just the nature of the beast. Even when LeBron
got to the finals, though. They got to the finals, old school. They got to the finals.
That's what I'm saying.
They didn't win, though. They still lost. I mean,
I'm saying. They didn't win.
Yeah, but Kawhi ain't LeBron, dog.
Let the brother cook, man. Let him cook.
Who? Kawhi? He don't have to be LeBron.
Yeah, let Sean finish his thought. Hold on. Let Sean finish his thought.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. My bad, bro.
No, you good, bro. All I'm saying is it does take time. And again, you're talking about wholesale changes. When you look at what the Clippers gave up to get Paul George, they gave up a nice part of their core from the year before. So the whole foundation and the whole culture of that team changed. It wasn't going to be perfect in year one. The expectation.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Can I ask you a quick question, though, sir?
No, don't be on.
No, I just want. I'm sorry. I just want to ask you a quick question, my man. I respect you though, because you had some good takes. But I just wanted to say this: when everybody talking about the culture and they're taking time, I do respect that, and I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where everybody loses me, including with what you said. When you up 3-1, sir, listen to what I'm about to say. In Game 5, closeout game, they're up 17, sir. They're cruising and high-fiving on the bench. So now you trying to convince me that it's the chemistry that's the issue when you high-fiving up by 17 in a Game 5.
Thank you.
Let me piggyback on that.
You can't have your cake.
Y'all bear hope. Yo, I'm telling y'all this. Y'all bear hope.
Hold on, let him finish his thought.
No. I'm done. I just want to understand because everybody's talking about chemistry, but the man, these guys. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Let me piggyback off what he's saying, bro. That's why I don't.
Let him respond. I want to hear his answer though, because they was up 3-1, man.
No. Listen, I'm not. Listen, them being up 3-1, yeah, they should not have lost that series just purely because of the fact they were up 3-1. But the fact is, when your head coach says in a locker room that I looked around the locker room, and the only person I saw that was ready to close out that series was Kawhi Leonard, that tells me that team was not ready, even though they were up 3-1. When the head coach says that, that's not a good look. And
Okay.
Hey, B, hold up, B. Let me piggyback off that.
Go
I think
ahead,
a lot of people forget, bro. They was lucky they even lost that 3-1 lead, bro. They were supposed to lose to Dallas.
Hey, that's a fact. Go ahead.
They were supposed to lose to Dallas, dog. Like, do y'all forget? Hold up, did y'all forget? Luka Doncic on a bum ankle was dropping 40-point triple doubles on these niggas, bro.
Yeah, you was lying. He was 40-point triple doubles.
And Porzingis was hurt and
Hold
got
on,
kicked.
hold
And
on, hold on.
Porzingis got hurt.
Let me say one thing about chemistry.
No
Hold on.
excuses. No excuses.
Hold on. Let me say one thing about
It was
chemistry.
facts.
Hold on
It
one
was
second.
facts.
With chemistry, it's easy. It's easy for any team, regardless of if you have good or bad chemistry. When you winning, it's easy to high five and chemistry. Your chemistry shows and your culture shows when things ain't going good. Because that's why when the Clippers were losing, like to Denver, I would look at like the faces of the guys on the bench. That shows your chemistry right there.
Yep.
Like look at Reggie Jackson. Look at all the guys who were moping on the bench. Nobody was high fiving. That shows your chemistry. So when Denver had better chemistry because when they were down 17 points, look at how they were in the huddles. They was all engaged. Nobody had their heads down. They were still up. They were still cheering these guys on. So that tells you right there they had a different culture and chemistry than the Clippers because
beep like that?
Because when things went bad for the Clippers, their chemistry showed. And when things go bad for a team like that, they go all the way bad. And so,
Yeah, they was a front running team, man, because when they had them leads in them games, everything was all cool. But as soon as a team punched back, they folded up like lawn chairs.
That's chemistry. That's culture and chemistry.
That's chemistry, man. And I'm gonna say this, man. Listen, y'all keep sleeping on these teams, acting like the Lakers are invincible because everything's not guaranteed. I got the Lakers possibly winning the championship, whatever. Because not being biased, but y'all better hope the Lakers win the championship. Because I'm gonna be on all y'all niggas' ass. I'm trying to tell y'all this. I'm trying to tell y'all this.
Listen, win, nigga. I'm gonna be on your ass.
Listen. That's cool. That's cool. And I can take the heat. But like
y'all better hope Kawhi don't win. Y'all better hope Kawhi don't win. I'll be on y'all head.
No fucking championship this year. Fuck out of here.
Y'all better hope Kawhi don't win.
I said the Clippers from the beginning. So I already know what you're talking about. Like, I'm not sleeping on the Clippers either. You know what I'm saying? But, like, I want to ask Brother Lee the same question he asked me.
The only thing that's going to beat the Lakers is injuries, my man. That's it.
You keep saying that. All right, excuses. Excuses already. Excuses already.
I'm not making no excuses.
I'm talking about David said. David, I'm talking about David. David said injury.
Hey, look, hey, true. I tell you right now, Drew. I tell you right now. Hold on, hey, True. I tell you right now, I ain't sleeping on the Clippers. Nigga, I'm asleep, nigga.
That's cool.
I'm asleep.
Y'all bro, listen.
Hey,
Y'all better hope the Lakers win.
What about the
Y'all
Eastern
better
Conference,
hope. Y'all better hope that boy. Y'all better hope the Lakers win.
Hey, I want to ask
Lee
proposed to me. Lee, what you think who coming out the Eastern Conference, bro?
Not the Celtics.
That's well, you guys know. Well, some of you guys know. I love the Celtics, but
ain't guaranteed.
The Bucks are coming out the East.
But here's the thing. I'm not accusing True the King as not being realistic.
We said that last year about the Bucks. What happened?
It's just that with the Celtics
6 last year.
Did they improve?
Hold on. Let me finish.
I think Celtics they did improve a bit, but I don't think they improved enough to be serious threats. So I got
the 76ers of the Bucks.
I think realistically, I think it's going to be between 3 teams. I think it's going to be between the Sixers. I think it's going to be between the Bucks and the Nets. And I just can't pick out of the 3 right now because one, we're all speaking hypotheticals to an extent, but I think a realistic hypothetical is we don't know how KD and Kyrie are going to mesh together, especially with KD coming off the Achilles. Now, I tore my Achilles, and I'm basically 100%, but and I praise God for that. But Achilles, there's better technology today, better medicine, better treatment, better cure. So you can recover a little bit faster now, especially if you're an athlete and you have wealth and you have the resources. But Achilles injuries, they're no joke, man. So KD could be 100%, but we just don't know.
Just hypothetically, if all of the teams were to be healthy, barring any injuries, who would you pick then? That assuming that everybody healthy.
Brooklyn hand down. Brooklyn hand down.
Okay, I
Bucks.
Brooklyn hands down.
With chemistry is important. So what I would pick the Bucks, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Nets beat them in 7.
Can I ask a question just to the panel? If y'all is everybody kind of agreeing the Sixers, the Nets, and the Bucks are probably the three top
in the East, yes. In the East, yes.
I agree with
In
that.
the East, yes.
We all agree. We all agree.
All right,
No comment.
So,
Nigga, don't you say nothing about them trash.
No comment. I'm not going to even say that because you know what I'm going to do.
Don't do it like that,
I'm not
Anton.
going to
Don't do it like that.
Go ahead, Sean.
Hold up.
yeah. So the question is, of all those teams, which of those 3 teams y'all think going into the season had the least amount of questions?
I think that I think Brooklyn, because if you was to exclude the injuries, they have the better roster out of all 3 of those teams.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they would just have injuries would be the only reason that'll stop them. If you look at Philly,
chemistry too.
Chemistry too, but that's more, you know what I'm saying? You still do have the 2 best players of the Eastern Conference on that team. Outside of maybe Giannis. You know what I'm saying? But
Kyrie,
I mean, ultimately those 2 guys are the best 2 closers in the East, probably in the league in general. And they are the most talented. And they did a good job by not getting James Harden, because I like Karis LeVert, I like Spencer Dinwiddie, I like Jared Allen. You do have DeMar. I mean, I don't know if they still got Carroll, but you do have Taurean Prince. You just added old boy from the Clippers. What's the Landry Shamet?
And Khalil, they have the sharpshooter Joe Harris too.
Yeah, you still add, even though you overpaid for him, but that's a necessary piece. So they to me have the most talent on paper. So I would say they have the least amount of concerns. I would say probably out of those 3 teams, I would probably say that Philly has the most concern, because you don't know how good Doc Rivers gonna really have to coach, because this is the first time in his career where he doesn't have superstars like Kevin Garnett and Chris Paul and all these guys to lean on. He gonna really have to coach this year. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't got a Kevin Garnett, nigga. He got a Joel Embiid.
Man, but Joel Embiid, is he a superstar? Seriously, is he? I don't know about that.
I just want to hear everybody else talk though on that though.
Yeah, I think I would say the Milwaukee Bucks had the least amount of questions. The reason why I say that is because they've been the top team in the East for the past 2 years, and the main core is still there. And they got they still got Chris Middleton. You still got Giannis Antetokounmpo, and last year they had the most dominant defense in the league. And then you had Drew Holiday to that. That's even more of a plus. But
go ahead, CA. Finish your point, brother.
I'm not finished. My only concern with the Bucks is the coaching. Coach Bud is gonna have to change his philosophy, because Bud he has a philosophy where he tries not to play his best players 20 minutes, but with the bench kind of being way short this year, he's gonna have to change that philosophy.
I like that. Hey, CA, I like how you just broke that down. You see, Mike, he a younger guy like you. But you got a 6.5-foot rib in your driveway. You don't deserve it.
Can I go next? I go next.
CA, you made a good point. I think the bench did get better. Now there's a player who they got from camp, because he got traded to the Clippers and then now got signed to the Bucks camp.
I said they got a little shorter. I said they got a little shorter on the bench. That's what I'm saying. They
got deeper. They got deeper.
They got deep on the bench.
There's one player in particular who I've always liked, but he's always been hurt these last 3 years. He's had a few foot problems. His name's Justin Patton, and his game
he got
real nice. Gives him length, can handle, can shoot. He's just been injured these last 3 years.
They got on their bench. They got DJ Augustine. They still got Pat Connaughton. They got Torrey Craig. They still have DiVincenzo. They got Frank Mason, who's solid. They added Bobby Portis. I mean, they have Marvin Williams retired, but they added Nick Stauskas. And they still have DJ Wilson. They deep as hell on the bench.
Man, that's some good pickups.
I think DiVincenzo's going to start. Lamont, he's going to start.
But I'm just saying, look at all the you can interchange him with Bryn Forbes. They got Bryn Forbes as well.
Oh, they got Bryn Forbes too. Wow.
Yeah, they sure did.
They better not thought. Yeah, they nice. They nice.
So I like Torrey Craig and Bobby Portis. I think that length, that size, then you bring in good guard play, Bryn Forbes and DJ Augustine, and you still got Pat Connaughton for shooting.
Still got Robin Lopez.
Yeah. No, Robin Lopez is not there anymore.
No, he's gone.
Hey, the Bucks had the best team in the league last year, and they added Drew Holiday. They're gonna win They're gonna win about 49 games this year, okay? Because they have a system set in place. All right, it's gonna take Kyrie and KD some time, bro. And then you gotta think, then Willie and LeVert gotta go hit the bench, or one of them do. You know what I mean? That's gonna take some adjustment, like Kyle Kuzma had to adjust. So I think the Bucks gonna come out the block. The Bucks could mess around and start 9-1, bro.
Can I ask you a question?
Possibly.
Nah, hey, hold on. Antisocial. Go ahead and wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up on your comment right here.
I just gotta ask: Did Giannis develop a jump shot yet?
He don't need one.
Yo, Airtime, you be having like so many strikeouts, man. It don't even make no sense.
I gotta find out. Hold on.
You be like, that shit be crazy.
All night long, Anti been getting cooked.
Like, shut your bum ass up, bro.
All night cooking.
True the King, hold up. Why has he been losing in the playoffs?
Anti. Here's the difference this year.
Losing to a bird team.
Nah, that nigga couldn't shoot.
Hey, can we carry this conversation on when he get offline? Because he about to show up.
Let me speak.
The nigga couldn't shoot.
Nah, here's the difference.
Go ahead, CA. Go ahead.
And they still won 60 games.
Listen here.
You can win 60 games playing like that, but when you get to the playoffs, that shit don't mean nothing.
Hold on, CA. You see, hey, CA, go ahead and wrap it up for him.
Here's the difference this year. They got Drew Holiday. He can shoot the ball. He's a point guard that can shoot. When you have Eric Bledsoe who can't really shoot, you can't run a pick and roll through him because they're just gonna sag. When all you have Drew Holiday, who's a playmaking guard who can shoot the ball, you don't have to have Giannis at the top of the key anymore. You can have him running the pick and roll. He can play more off the ball. It's gonna be better for Giannis. You can kind of hide the shooting weaknesses away.
So you hold up. You think the ball gonna be more in Drew Holiday hand than Giannis?
Yeah. No. What I'm saying is you don't have to have Giannis at the top of the key anymore to create his own shot because with Bledsoe Bledsoe can't really help him create because Bledsoe can't shoot. The defense can just sag and build a wall on Giannis. It's a difference.
We're gonna see.
We'll see. That's a fact. He told you like with.
Let me take that.
Hey, True, look here. Hey, True, I don't give a fuck about you being mad about your bitch getting their ass whooped. That ain't my
Anti still getting cooked.
Hold on, Sean. Go ahead, Sean.
Just to piggyback off CA's point, they missed Malcolm Brogdon last year because Malcolm was such a great playmaker and shooter. So they needed to replace him. So bringing in Drew Holiday will actually take Giannis back to the year before when the game offensively was a lot easier for him because he wasn't trying to create his own shot. He had a playmaker to do that for him.
Facts.
That's all they do.
All right, hey y'all, we'll be back tomorrow, man, around the same time.
I'm kidding.
To chop it up. Hey, salute to Anti. You gotta redeem yourself tomorrow.
I gotta redeem shit, nigga. This nigga came in with one take. That he had
Go Mike about to make 9 videos of you in the next 24 hours.
Lamont, stop playing with me, bro.
I so is. I'm gonna be better time.
Nigga, learn how to spell before you come at Anti.
You gotta keep the whole show.
Learn how to spell before you come at Anti, nigga.
Hey, Anti, you make me look good, Anti.
Hey, Michael, you learn how to spell, G. You need to learn how to
Hey,
chill, bro.
Hooked on phonics
G.
ass nigga, bro.
Hey,
we
G.
gonna help him out. We gonna get him right. Don't worry about it, go Mike. We got you.
Hey, guess what? You got cooked too in half of the show.
I ain't helping his ass with
Boy,
nothing.
you been getting
Stupid
cooked
all
ever
by
since you
himself.
came over here.
You know what you
Oh,
need
man.
help with? You know what you need help with? Your bald head. Now go on somewhere.
Boy, trash. Dog, she look trash. Ooh,
I got a better hairline than that.